Hello.
Of president. You see,
We are just getting ready
Hello.
to Mycopunk. I'm dancing on the Amalgamation's grave, which is this 4,125th Valued Employee Award.
President of the Galactic
Which also has a barcode on the bottom. So if you want to figure out if that's some sort of secret,
as would be your family.
I'm not sure if that's a secret or anything, but maybe it's upside down. It looks like the text is the other way, so it's probably I can't even show it that way, but I think the barcode's upside down.
Please, we beg of you, contact the Galactic
Bum.
Space.
Happy Friday, everybody.
But this so right now I have a mod on that basically makes it so the lobby is up to 32 players. So if anyone wants to hop in for some Mycopunk, you should be able to. Does this game allow joining during missions? I'm not actually sure.
Friend. Yep.
I never really tried it, I don't think.
Hello, Geo. Also,
hello.
hello, Buzz,
Bruce.
Bilbo.
Any fun hobbies you got? I've been looking for something to branch out a little.
But yeah, we're planning to just kind of play around, try a bunch of different missions, see what happens. Shortly after finishing daily
Oh, heck
grind.
yeah.
Daily grind? Oh,
Nice.
that daily grind. Hopping around, yeah, exactly. They've added this new backlog thing, which I guess you can pick a quest and then it leads to other quests, and that gives you like different things. So like, for example, I wanted Yuko, so I chose the one where you have to play stacks of acid from one mythical to another. Oh, that's fair. How's it going? Leading mission is Wrangler. Oh. Leading mission is Bruiser. Leading mission in Titan City.
Yep, he's a funny dude. Oh man,
Oh.
that guy's got some stories.
Complete the weekly overtime assignment as Wrangler.
The way they're going out.
Kill enemies in the weekly overtime assignment. Some progress is lost when you die. Oh. Kill enemies have threat 6. Get the last hit on Abomination shells. Shells, interesting. Oh, nice.
Well, hi there.
Always good to have more clippage.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Clipping is really nice. Because we don't always have time to clip ourselves, so honestly, like, anytime you see something you find funny, we really appreciate the clips.
Yeah.
Hello, Nan Bread.
The amalgamation hunt looks like it's still going on.
We might have links suppressed unless you're a mod or a VIP, but we do have a clip section, like a share
Well, that's
channel
true.
in our Discord.
Yeah, there's a spot in our Discord. It's good. Good point though. Yeah, I think the bot might catch if you do a clip. There's probably a way for me to filter that out, like just so it like knows that if it's a Twitch clip from our own channel.
Like, clips should be fine because we know it's a clip.
Yeah, that's
It tells you it's a clip. It's to protect ourselves from obvious, like, scams or things,
How do
like,
you do, Wings?
people sending
Say,
things that they shouldn't.
about
We
taking
don't
a shot
want
at the
people
big
getting
screen?
hacked
What should-
or any issues.
What should we start on?
But, like, go ahead and try, but I think people said...
Love aircraft work. They take flying bots like yourself and house them in a big metal facade.
Buy followers now!
Oh no.
Got a lurk while grabbing supper.
really
Yeah,
dangerous.
no problem.
See, Buzz, you didn't use the
You ain't no job on
keyword
that one.
cheap
Thanks.
because they always say buy cheap followers. They don't just say buy followers.
Oh yeah, no, you can't
It's
forget
gotta-
the cheat.
It's got to be cheap
Mhm.
followers. That's the only
Yeah,
way.
yeah, you gotta, of course. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll do a mission to start. Anyone can hop in. I don't know if you can hop in mid-mission, but if not, we'll hang out in the space rig a little bit, or spaceship, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah, I was just going over my.
All the price is 500. Oh my gosh. Well, then you wouldn't work for any of those bots, probably. I think they give like 1,000 followers for like $10 or something. So, you know, every follower is worth like a cent.
Ooh, that's a big one. Well, hold on.
A cowboy dance.
I'm
Wait, what's the dance button?
Don't pull me into something.
Oh, appreciate it. Really.
I gotta.
Oh, are you trying to fit an
Make
upgrade
room.
in? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, are there like different dances? Interesting. Or, oh no, you're just doing emotes while dancing. Ah, I see. I didn't even know you could do that. Ah, interesting. Wait, the finger gun's actually... Oh wait, no, that wasn't a thing. Oh. They have the wanka. I'm also still very concerned about roach milk. Hello, Val, how's it going? Sorry you had to raid in as I was asking about the contents of roach milk.
Thank you!
You're a bitch, you know
Hello!
Oh god.
How was your stream?
And it also says breeding season on my
The
screen.
report's gonna love
Oh.
that one.
Well,
Damn, that hurts.
perfect timing. But how's it going, Val? How's your stream?
You're a bitch, you know that?
Welcome in! Wow, wow, wow.
Who keeps turning the heat off? You guys can't even feel it.
But I hope your stream went well.
Freezing to death.
Well, I had that
I
sign
saw
say
you were
aggression.
risk of raining.
My risk of rain? Nice, nice.
I always love a good risky rains.
Why is there roach aggression happening on TV? What is happening here?
I don't know. I'm scared.
Yeah, risk of rain's fantastic. We actually have a 32-player mod going for this game right now, so if you want to hop in, feel free to. Do you all know if you can join mid-mission?
We're gonna find out.
Yeah, we might have to find out, because we're probably going to start a mission, and then otherwise you can join whenever we hit the lobby, because missions are only like 10-15 minutes, I think.
You can?
Game.
Oh, good.
Okay, perfect. Then that is perfect. Okay, I want to do my favorite. Planetary defense is like my favorite. Do we want to do threat level 2 or threat level 3? Probably warm up.
I want a wreck face.
Okay, we'll do a warm up.
I just got a grenade add-on that applies rot to armored targets.
Oh, sweet, hot bots in your area.
Oh yeah.
Oh right, there's a wanka emote. I forgot about that.
Where's the forbidden hand symbol?
Thanks.
The bird. It's the top of emotes.
Yeah.
Watch your fire.
that was great.
Excellent.
Management is concerned
Oh, I forgot I have an
about a
eyeball on my
spy
guns.
ship that's been spotted in orbit.
Oh
Your job is to power up the
God.
planetary
My gun
defense
looks away.
system and take it down.
Hey there.
I still have my hand up. It's okay, Glider. Calm
Send
down.
it down the cargo pod.
Need a hand, y'all.
You need a hand.
Help me! Someone!
Oh, Buzz is here.
Power stations are all
Hey!
down. Follow the signals with those scanners.
Okay, the
and get 'em
scanners
clear.
are... Well, someone's scanner is on the blender, but don't worry about that.
Don't get blended.
Don't get blended.
Use those scanners to locate the gunked up power relays. Clear the gunk, turn on the power, and we'll be good to go.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a ping button. That's handy.
Over
This is
yonder.
of note. Look, this is of note.
Use those scanners to
get your eyes
locate
on
the
this.
gunked up power relays. Clear the gunk, turn
your eyes
on
on
the
this.
power, and we'll be good to go.
It still says it's 100 meters, so it's that one over there. Okay. Here we
Power
go.
stations are all down. Follow the signals with those scanners and get them cleared.
Old Discord. Oh, how does that
Oh.
happen?
Oh, we're doing this.
Yeah. Hey.
Over yonder.
Time to power up this relay.
That's one relay up and running. Just
Oh,
need a
I
little
wonder,
more juice
because
and
there's
power.
normally
Make
only
it
4
big.
players and like 4 different colors. I wonder if it will just start picking random colors for everyone else, or how that's gonna...
I wonder if we should scale the difficulty up. Like if we get more people,
Oh yeah, 100%.
we should definitely scale up the difficulty.
We can also scale up the swarms, which is cool.
Oh yeah, right, because it has that option.
It's over this building. Oh. I can't quite fly like you, but that's alright. I'll get over it eventually.
It's okay.
I've got kind of the short hops.
Good chance to get to randomize the colors.
Yeah.
Dented the pre-bread.
The
Let's
pre-bread.
go.
Gotta get that pre-bread.
Yeah, we gotta get that bread.
Oh. I was
That's enough
lassoed.
power. Sending the rail gun down there.
Will you get lassoed with your friends? Oh no.
Yeah.
I gotta try the other characters more, but Glider's been so fun.
I like the guy with the tether pole. That was pretty fun. The jetpack.
Yeah, I gotta try that one.
Wow, it's very quiet. Usually it's not even this quiet on this difficulty, so I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah, I know, we'll put up that difficulty. We'll put up the
Yeah.
swarms at least.
Well, yeah. We should put up the difficulty too anyway, because we have to unlock higher difficulties, so this is a good opportunity to do that.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like we're doing good enough, and with the amount of people we might have,
No class gunners for you.
especially like the once Broa joins, we're gonna need to put that up.
I am hoping to unlock the double and triple jump for this character, where I can actually like jump slam, jump slam, jump slam, because that looked pretty cool.
Look at this. This is look at this.
Great. Next step is to lock the target on that terminal over there.
The not haunted of shadow verified. Okay.
Hee hee hoo hoo, there he is.
Oh. Man, there's no ships in this whole sector. Oh, I hear something crawling up behind me.
Ah!
Dead
Can't
center,
turn
gang.
Junior illegal.
Far off, though. Dropping
They're
stack
trying to make
batteries
Junior
to help the
illegal.
gun get a line. Don't let them break.
Oh, I didn't even read any patch notes. Is there good changes?
For this game, I did see a lot of patch notes, but it looked like mostly slight buffs.
Then probably good. We've
Yeah,
just
but
been
that's
too
for-
deep into Abiotic Factor to play anything else.
Taste of the rail gun.
Outside of streaming, we have not been playing anything else.
To be fair, though, I'm talking slight buffs for, like, what we have unlocked. I have no idea if they nerfed stuff for higher level
Oh, I
players.
have no idea. We haven't been playing too long.
They touched high ground. Oh, that makes sense, because that was, like, actually broken.
Oh no!
So I have an exotic on my Swarmer that when anyone else has Swarmer in their inventory, like equipped, they also fire bullets out of their Swarmer when I shoot, which is pretty cool.
Thank you, kind.
Oh.
Also, we're an event chat. If people do want to hop in chat, you're
Yeah.
more than welcome to. Hey, get out of here. Those ain't your batteries.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello!
Yeah. Looking for Gobbo and a Kobold.
There's no gobble. What are you talking about? Oh, guess what charm I
Do
just
I not
unlocked
exist?
guess what charm I just unlocked in Kill Floor 3 before I hopped in here?
Oh.
The Kaiju charm. It's a blue Godzilla charm for your guns.
What?
Yeah.
I forgot that. You said that. I need it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, so I'm gonna have to fight you for it. I need it.
I want a little kobold one.
Well, listen, I'm a warrior.
Oh, hello. Oh, it did choose a new color. That was a purple.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like
Interesting.
glowy green snacks.
Yeah, also
shimmering
hi,
with
Buzz.
mystery.
Hello.
Some say they can grant wishes, but only if you dance like a chicken. Just watch out,
Apparently
they can
just
be
like
sneaky,
Power
stealing
Rangers
your
meal,
dreams.
but I will-
The difficulty's a little lower.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
We're gonna
don't
crank it up
like
after this.
rush too
Snap.
much. Like,
I forgot.
please eat. Take
Food is
care of
important.
yourself. Get your nourishment.
Oh yeah, once I get a chance.
That's a barrel.
It just ain't.
I tried to launch it away, but I wasn't fast enough.
Fire.
I now have a fear response
Oh,
to you saying that.
Yep.
To be fair, I've never said it to you. Weak on the other hand.
Oh
I assume we only need to turn 4 keys, even if there's more players.
Yeah, at the same time,
Yeah.
at least.
Okay.
no! Hello, Philbo.
I need
Hi.
3 more
Hello,
key
everybody.
turners.
Oh.
I have key 4. There we go.
Blow that ship out of the sky.
Oh wow, that's
This is
almost
cool.
horizontal. What the heck?
Howdy.
Railgun the tower on the way by.
Yeah.
Get your eyes on this.
Well, normally it's like right above us, and the debris falls on us, but that's so far like over there. Like, is that even gonna?
I
Is that
love
even
how
gonna
many
fine.
flyers or gliders there are.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 3 gliders.
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta lower the brightness of this game from.
Oh yeah,
It's like a bit bright for me.
I cranked the bloom setting from 100 to 0 because I'm just like.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. I think that's what's like been getting to me.
Immediately.
What do you
Oh
mean?
shit, let me get this Gustula.
Alright, another job off the list. Great work, Gary.
Here comes the
Hold your recall
meteors!
switch when you're ready to call the
You
pod.
can, see,
Uh,
you can see them coming from so far away
Okay.
because of the angle.
Yeah, that's actually kind of sick.
meteor just hit me, just landed on me.
Oh.
Oh, I forgot I'm supposed to be trying to get acid on things.
Yeah, if they don't burn to bits first from my incendiary grenades.
Well, I haven't equipped it yet, but I just got an exotic for my incendiary that makes it explode into more incendiaries, which sounds
Oh, the
pretty
cluster.
beautiful.
Yeah, I got that one equipped right now. It's sick.
Oh,
So we have 3 gliders?
yeah,
Yes.
3 gliders, a bruiser, and a wrangler.
Howdy.
I won't be alone.
No, you'll have a fine menagerie of classes to choose from to hang out with.
I'll send a launcher and you can toss them in pieces for a moment.
Did you say it's
It's
a
a missile
mythical?
Not completely.
Yeah.
Not completely.
Yeah, not completely. I'm not.
This is all
but,
just
you know,
a Sipco community.
yeah.
True,
Yeah, yeah.
true.
It's like half menagerie.
Would you say it's a tall drink of awesome?
The tall drink is
Maybe
awesome.
like
I can judge
Few
with that.
quarters
Yeah.
menagerie.
It is a menagerie of misfits.
I'm
Absolutely.
into that.
A misfit menagerie.
I'm just gonna put a shield in front
Absolutely
of this pod
misfits
door here.
is-
There we go.
So real.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I like missiles and stuff. I should be using those.
The pod is leaving in 30 seconds, by the way.
Oh, hey, where's the pod?
Okay, I'm safe. Okay, so we're definitely gonna put we're gonna scale stuff up then, right?
Yeah.
That felt too slow.
Oh yeah, no, it was definitely too slow. We'll put up the difficulty and the thing. We'll just kind of keep putting it up until we feel like it's a good spot.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I don't think I got any rewards. Oh, I did get one upgrade. Oh, wildfire.
Super heated reaction, cycler upgrade. Rapidly ignite multiple targets to increase fire per shot. Ooh.
I was in the clouds.
Oh, I didn't read the ending thing.
Yours was crispy. You were ignited 4 times.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Huh.
Ooh, slower, high damage bullets. Interesting.
What do we got here? Guess you.
Oh, I don't think I can
Oh,
fit
I did
that
get some
anywhere.
upgrades.
If I remove this one and put this up, oh, I lost it. That's fine.
What's that bottom launch you got there?
Me?
Who?
Yeah.
Oh, it just says the grid has to grow still.
Oh, for the legendary you got?
Oh, this legendary's breeding season.
Oh.
For everyone that has a swarm launcher on the team, they also fire bullets when I fire bullets.
Oh.
And it doesn't use any of their ammo or anything. It just fires their gun.
Why don't I swap out my plate launcher for that?
Oh.
Just because I'm not really using it.
Swarm launcher upgrade. Oh no, wait. Oh, any discovery, I see. Before your magazine is empty, it gives you a burst of speed. Cool. Why not? I am waiting to unlock some of the other weapons though, because like, I didn't really care about the DMLR one, but like,
yeah,
the gunship cannon looks really cool, and the plate launcher looks really cool.
Plate launcher is fun. Yeah.
You mean my two favorite weapons to abuse?
Yeah. Perhaps.
I just can no longer abuse my plate launcher anymore.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
There's no more high ground.
I didn't want you to find out the hard way.
Salutations.
Yeah,
I've been really
I mean,
liking
if I found out the hard way, I would have just like popped in and just self-destructed after shouting no for a bit.
I've been really enjoying the swarm launcher and the jackrabbit until I actually get some new weapons.
Okay, so up to threat level 3.
Yeah, I only have the 4.
I can turn swarm intensity up too, if we want that to, because that'll probably
I
help.
get my next weapon at 10. Next couple weapons at 10. Okay.
Danger close. Need backup.
I need a hand, y'all.
Help, danger close. Need assistance. Need help. Help me. Danger assistance required.
Hidden
Never seen
upgrades
this
you can
before.
get? What?
Oh yeah, has anyone unlocked? Everyone's still using the base flyer skin. Has anyone unlocked any skins for them?
I haven't yet. I don't think I have.
Yeah, so I have a purple glider skin, but I've never played
It might
glider,
be-
which is the weirdest thing.
It might be RNG because I unlocked one for
that's a cool one.
One of the other characters.
You know, human pizzas weren't even illegal until a couple hundred years
Hello.
Hello.
So, I'm gonna say sorry in advance. I have a lot. I have 4.
What the fuck? That's what I think. That's what I think about that. Bitches.
It's
What violence have you bestowed upon me? Thank you, kind.
You know, I gotta kill my people need me.
Yes, sir.
Joke's on you.
So did everyone
Bang up
survive?
job on that one. Thank you.
I was in here the whole time. It was okay.
Bang up job on that one. Thanks.
I'm gonna go have some Saxitos. Yep.
Sexy toes.
Mmm, red flavor.
Front of my roachard.
I struggle to kill you because
jaundice flavor.
Oh shit! I actually
I
killed
love
you!
jaundice flavor.
I'm sorry.
Hold on, I
like
got the legs over here. Where's the head? Oh, there it is.
I didn't think I would commit an actual murder!
No, wait.
Give me them legs.
She tried killing me.
No, see, I don't think I can actually kill with this gun because I have the auto loader on it, so it just swaps between laser and like fire, like over and over again, and then my laser heals.
Wonderful.
Oh, so tweak.
Hey, Tweak. Or you know what,
I
bro?
don't know
Hi.
if they fixed it yet.
Ow.
Oh wait, are you gonna show them the thing?
Okay, I'm done.
Wait, how many people died from
I
that?
send the child.
What the heck?
I send the goblin child.
Hold on, if I take this torso and try to attach it to these legs, will it work?
No.
Okay, I had to do that to Broa because
Heads up.
he tried to cannibalize us.
I mean,
No such
he deserved it.
Innocent. Like,
That was my revenge.
I have the visual proof that it was Tweak who
Where's
ate you.
Val's legs? Oh, they're in the
Oh, I
ship.
know he ate me. He told me. You ate Tweak.
Oh. Excellent.
Me? Eat
A little nibble.
Yeah.
No. I
Oh,
ate a
everyone's in?
giant turkey.
Yeah. Okay, everybody, you ready to go murder things?
So come here real quick.
Well, did it have to be a green turkey?
Actually, it wasn't. Okay, so stand like right here.
Also, Fat Tuna, thank you so
Hold up.
much.
Oh, okay.
I'm running
cook.
here, drop this here, then run back to
Let him
work.
cook.
I hope you're having a good day at work.
Am I a platform now?
I don't think
You can jump now.
Yeah.
Also,
you should
shout outs
float.
to Fat Tuna.
Oh! Nope.
Oh, sorry. Hold up. Let me fix that. I think I got one more.
I did better than Tuna,
Alright.
so I'm not top. I mean, I am
I'm too heavy.
not bottom.
Made a mistake.
I made a mistake.
Oh, that's right. The jump from
That was a
here.
mistake. Oh,
It's me.
slip of the tongue. That was slip of the tongue.
We fixed it. We're going up now.
We all the way up.
No.
Oh, it's a show.
Point at him.
No.
Oh god!
Oh, sorry. I shot a toe. Okay. I'm starting the pod. Good luck, everybody else.
Hey, guess what?
What happens to anyone that's not on the pod if the pod closes?
It just
Well, I'm down here now.
Oh, it does? Okay. Oh, Val's going to the planet without the pod.
Unless. Wait.
Is that
there we
is
go.
that
I don't
even
have to
possible?
be
Are
in
you
the
actually
pod.
gonna get to the planet?
No, there's a shield down here.
Oh, straight up.
I can't actually go down there.
It looks
I
like
can break out.
Oh.
I can break out of the ship though and just fall.
Good job on that.
Yeah, bye.
Oh, goodbye.
What was that?
It's beautiful.
Oh god, you just landed on top of me.
We got a big ass oh. chain gun things up all
Oh my god, it's so much more bearable with the
She has my
brightness turned
favorite
down.
scream.
Is it?
It's so much more bearable.
Yeah, I turned the bloom down to 0. It's so nice.
Yeah, I turned down the bloom and I turned down the brightness, and it's like I can see.
Yeah, that makes sense. Hello, Magna!
And don't forget about your pylons. Use your pylons.
There's a bunch of cool people! You're a bunch of cool people in chat!
Yeah! Oh man, bro is on a mission.
Wow.
It's like they're doing an
You gotta
actual
clear them
mission.
growths.
Oh, so Tweak. I don't
Yes.
know if you want to see it yet, but do you want to fight the secret boss?
Yes!
I mean, we could. There's enough of us here, probably.
I want to.
Yeah, I want to see it.
So
I haven't
the
tried to
secret
see
boss
it.
actually has a name. Who shot me?
Not me.
Me.
Maybe
me.
me.
You?
Oh, it deflects grenades? Interesting.
What is this like nut and shooting? What is this?
Who is shielding this thing?
That looked like a big
Oh, there it goes.
sensor.
Oh, it's a meteor.
Ah.
Oh, what the?
You can't beat my penguin fighting skills.
You're
I'm unstoppable.
So we're looking for a silo?
Okay.
We're looking forward to silence.
Looking towards the silence.
Yeah, where's the thingy?
I just see this thing.
I've been playing it.
Oh, what's this? There's a thing over here.
Show me the thing.
This thing.
Wait, that thing.
You bastard. You dirty bitch.
Oh, it's a bounce
Oh,
pad.
I think that's a jump. Yeah, jump pad.
Yeah. Wow, I am way up here.
Over there.
Where? I'm not sure where we're going.
Do we have a general description of said silo?
Well, I'm pretty sure that's how you start getting to the secret boss, right? Like a big mushroom near a silo.
I took a telepad.
Is it to the...
Or a jumpy pad.
Hold up, is it that one?
Are you talking about that one that way?
Oh.
I don't think it's on this map.
Okay.
Oh,
No,
this
it's
one?
on this map, yeah.
Alright.
Where? Okay.
Shall return to mission.
Yeah. Mission mode re-engage.
Mission.
Woo!
Yeah, let me catch up. You guys are already almost halfway through this.
What mission? There's no mission. Oh,
Sniper?
sniper abomination, yeah.
Over here.
On our way.
I'm gonna try and destroy the laser electric field. Alright, electric field's down. Just trying to get the lasers.
Yep.
Ooh, a little bit of lag there. That was weird.
Missed that one. It's angry with me.
It is almost dead.
Oh, I see. No, that's not lag. That's my new overclock. Interesting, or my new
I smacked it.
thing. That's strange.
Oh, it doesn't detonate those. Yeah, okay.
Okay, there we go.
Right.
It's detonating. Clear.
Use the pylon, get away. Use the pylon.
I'm out.
Getting oot and a bootin', if you know what I'm saying.
I'm out.
Woo!
Alright, the music in this is very good.
Are you flamethrowing bitch?
Unlimited ammo.
That one was thick.
That one was thick.
Extra cookies.
The explosions were so satisfying.
Oh, I found a little crate here. There we go.
Girl, there you go.
Sometimes you just need a little blue.
Yeah. Let's make that easier if you're not going to take it. Whoosh. Gotta pop those eyes.
Those are missiles. Those are missiles. Ooh. Ooh.
There's no missiles, there's only the flesh with the innocent.
They're missiling me in the face.
I don't think any of these things are innocent, though, to be entirely fair.
Yeah,
I mean, just innocent.
Harry the missile.
Innocent relative.
Have they ever had like an actual singular thought that's not a part of a collective? Maybe.
I don't think they have the capacity to be either innocent or not.
I think they're just existing.
I think they're just killed.
That's kind of what I think. I don't know.
Just living in the now. Not a cell phone in sight.
God, couldn't be me.
Not a brain cell in sight.
That's just me on the daily.
Laser abomination.
Lost
Laser.
time.
Mine.
I almost want to sick this many players on the amalgamation.
Oh, we absolutely should. Yeah.
I still haven't fought that thing.
Oh,
so
dude.
Can we?
I would love to.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta fight the chunk lemon.
The abomination's kind of a problem, or the amalgamation is a problem.
I just call it chunk lemon.
It's like, if you haven't done it this week, you get a guaranteed exotic out of it, too.
Oh, yeah. So definitely have to. Whoa.
I might have gotten mine earlier in the week, or unless it reset, then yeah, I'm down for it either way.
The answer is yes.
Lovely. I love that answer.
You son of a bitch!
Oh yeah, well, what happens if I call...
No, wait.
What happens if I call a car?
Wait.
A car, yeah, you also called a car. Yeah, car time, woo!
Guess we're calling cards.
Oh god, my kidneys!
Oh. What happened?
Me and Buzz crashed into each other.
Funny thing is, we both killed each other.
Okay.
Oh
Well,
man, that was
this
funny.
is-
I did not even know that could happen. Are they still in your... Oh no, Philbo's guy. I thought they grabbed your torso. I was so confused.
Oh no. That would be terrible if they could do that.
Boom,
Can you imagine
shakalaka.
if that happens and then the abomination starts using their weapons?
Oh my god.
Don't give the devs any ideas.
Oh no, we don't need to be Mithras.
It just uses all your like voice lines and stuff too on your allies.
Right.
Oh, that would be terrifying and awesome at the same time.
Yeah.
Take the voice and just like warp them a little bit.
Yeah.
Make them a little messed up.
Help,
Make them
danger,
a little
close.
goopy.
Help, danger, close.
God damn.
Slam. Airborne.
Ow.
Oh, wait, what?
Well, the pod's here.
Oh, exploding! Oh, exploding!
Oh no. Die to an overclocked
Oh,
enemy core
man.
was an achievement, apparently.
Hang on.
Wait, it's just you and me now, bud.
Oh, hey, what's up? Who's this?
Oh, hey.
Hey, we're back. I'm glad that they label which side is the front on the side of the pod.
Yeah, I love that.
I appreciate it, you know? Oh,
Hooray,
complete a
we
mission with one of
Oh,
each
we got
class.
achievement.
Yay.
Yeah.
And
We're all
I was
the
left behind.
different classes. Cool.
Oh, wait, oh, really?
I can launch glop balloons.
Yeah, well, I was in the dark, so.
Who just launched me out of the ship?
Brother, bro.
Oh,
Damn it, bro.
Broa.
Suki was the deadliest. Buzz was the most sadistic.
Betrayal.
I would never do such a thing.
I didn't know Philbo was
Damn,
tech
Buzz
support.
cranking out the damage. Well, that's because
I
I
would believe
revived
you, but
you.
you've done it before.
I was the
I'll
deadliest.
do it again.
I'm so deadly.
Yeah, nice suit. 62.
Hey, I want to get rid of that. That was bad.
Tweaks a pacifist, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't believe it for a hot minute.
Tweak is absolutely a pacifist.
No, he's not.
I believe that.
Yeah, he is.
After this, I think he will
I'm
be.
being gaslighted.
My one weakness.
Okay. What is a pacifist? Somebody who passes a fist to somebody else.
You know what? Can't argue
Alright,
that logic.
fine. You get a pass.
Checkmate.
A fist?
Science.
Well, hi
No, no.
Yeah, I deserve that.
Can I no longer? Mr. Walsh
Oh,
won't contain
okay.
me.
What, do you want to kill me? Go ahead.
I
Do it.
didn't know that was gonna do anything because it's the contingency thing.
Oh.
Does that hurt at all? No. Oh.
It does a little bit.
Oh, okay. It's supposed to do 16 times the damage. 70 versus 70. No, that looks the same. Huh.
Wait, Philbo, did they patch my ability to escape the ship?
Weird.
I don't know. I don't know about that part.
I've been trying to escape.
Oh, also,
I'm not
we defeated Chund-Lemon.
Well, hi there.
I don't know what that means. Did they name the
That's just the
amalgamation?
amalgamation. Yeah, that's the name of the amalga.
Oh, okay.
Oh!
And then if you knock
Come on,
it
you little
over...
rascal.
Oh! Come on. Fall over. There we go. There's a barcode on the bottom.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna try an amalgamation hunt with this maybe for you.
Yes.
Splendid.
Very good, yes.
What hazard?
The highest I've got is 5. But also this thing is super tanky, so do we want to do 4?
We can try 4.
I'm up for whatever, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, who knows? We might actually just do that much damage too. So.
We are here for you.
We could.
You need
I'm trying to bring the tunes along.
We can help you get through the
Oh my god! Help!
Oh god! Well, ow, my kidneys! Oh my gosh, she killed someone! That was the thing that you
Wasn't me.
in the ceiling.
Wasn't me. Alright, we got the tunes on.
Fact, I straight up thought it was the one that was screaming, but it was just the glider.
Yeah.
Oh no, we were both screaming.
You really think you're funny, don't you?
Yes, I do. I do think I'm funny.
I got us all high.
Roachard!
Roachard?
Would you like to come do a murder with us, Val?
Roachard, what are you doing?
Roachard?
We're doing a murder.
Yeah.
I'm right here.
Sorry, I was shoveling food in my face.
Oh no, that's right.
What are you doing?
Oh yeah, food good, food
You
good.
know, that's a fair thing.
Oh no, our
to say.
speaker!
Tunes!
Aww.
Rip tunes.
I'm stuck.
What door number? Oh, okay, bye, Buzz.
I got money on
All I know is
stuck
I
on
have
the
to
bleach.
kill.
We're on door number 20.
I'm stuck on the roach milk. Never mind, it's not bleach. This is more curse.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. I have breeding season. We're good.
Get out of here. Leave.
Oh,
Leave me alone.
Wait, Hurst, you're Wrangler?
No?
I just heard a go on now. Get.
That's Philbo.
Philbo's a wrangler.
Oh, it's Philbo.
Oh.
And I'm a damn good wrangler at that.
Sweet's the
Everything else goes
only
broke.
bruiser.
Yeah. Bruiser, I barely know her.
Drive that bastard back to hell.
Wait, that sounds
Objective
awful.
kill.
Objective kill, Amalgamation. Where are you, Amalgamation? We've
And,
got
and
a
I
bunch of
think
people
Rot's,
here ready to murder you.
Kobold Rot's the only scrapper.
Yeah.
And his love
comes.
gliders.
Yeah.
I just keep defaulting to flyer because it's like the same thing.
Attack.
Ba 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 ba.
Alright, I got the flamethrower on.
Oh, the flamethrower actually helps me deal more damage.
Oh god, I'm on fire.
And that flamethrower also helps me get my incendiary grenades back.
Oh, really?
Whenever it lights me on fire, yeah, I get
wow.
a bit of a charge.
Oh, I guess when I'm on fire, my shotgun gets infinite ammo. Yep.
Yeah. Because whenever I'm on fire, I got the exact same one.
Yeah.
Yep, the hornets are upon us.
We only get
I'll try to help you.
We only get one team down.
Oh no!
Apparently.
Gotta make it count.
Oh, hello.
Hello there.
Oh, hello. How you doing?
Who's got the other one? Bro? Drop it.
Grab it. Grab it.
Drop it.
Oh, that grenade went way over. Oh no, it still hit it. Okay. Why does it have so
Oh, boy.
many legs?
It's very leggy.
Just step on us with, of course.
Steppies?
Extra
Ow, that
steppies.
hurt. I don't want to be here anymore. No, no, no,
This
no.
is pain. This is all pain.
I'm having a wonderful time. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
You're right. That's what I'm saying.
I'm just blowing off the limbs. I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm just launching bees at them.
Man, this is still much faster than this boss fight went the first time Suit and I did it.
We also didn't know what we were doing for like half of it.
It was like a
That's
40-minute boss fight. It was
That
so
definitely
long.
makes sense now when we realize, like, oh, we were wasting our time trying to get the legs and stuff falling off.
Yeah, if you knock off his legs and destroy them, he just grows a new one back. So it wasn't really.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really not worth it until like after the halfway.
Yeah.
Decay don't give a fuck.
Unless you get rid of
Okay,
ones,
don't
I
give a
guess,
fuck.
that are like really good, because then you might get something worse. Oh, that's a lot of eyeball
The eyes are
missiles.
free.
Missiles.
The eyes are free.
Oh, that's what those are.
Good thing I have a shield. Oh god, the shield went down.
I'll just stay over here. We're safe.
The shield abandoned me.
Oh, I'm moving.
Also, if you have not seen this game, this is Mycopunk. Highly recommend if you like
Yes,
like Deep Rock or Risk of Rain or People
All
have
the
actually
same vibes
related
and
it a
then
little bit to Borderlands too with the gun style customization.
I get a good
art
like
style,
Borderlands Deep Rock feel.
Yeah.
Mostly because of the objectives, I get a lot of Deep Rock.
Well, the name of the mods also helps in, especially Road Trip.
Yeah.
Oh
We
yeah.
love Roger.
Wait, who are they trying to stab directly under it?
Not me.
Hello, Swiss! Ooh, pizza.
Ouch, Swiss.
Oh, that's a lot of eyeballs.
Oh, they're coming. Oh, they're
Seeking
coming.
eyeballs.
Oh, they're coming. Ah!
Good thing I'm cold-blooded.
Oh, they zooming. Where's the floor?
How you doing, Swiss?
I like the swinging poles.
Whee!
I actually have the eyeball swinging pole, so it's like the eyeball that you can direct around and people grab onto.
Oh my god.
Really cool.
It's a fun one. Although it's really annoying to try and direct.
Yeah, I bet.
A little to the left. More.
Character's like, move, you stupid eye. Over here, you stupid eye.
Yeah, that's just like go beyond.
Doing good. Had to free our robot vacuum. What the heck?
Wait, what? It's Aviotic Factor?
Yeah.
In real life?
The Amalgamation has every status effect on it right
If you've ever owned a Roomba, they get caught.
Oh, I see the eye. It's vulnerable.
I
The
do
core is vulnerable.
not, but I've seen so many videos.
They get gunked up and.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah, it
bro, I
sounds-
was like, someone got a lot of the eyes there.
It sounds easier to just clean yourself, really.
Yeah.
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 It is.
Yeah.
Well, but now they've got Roomba lawnmowers too.
Oh no.
Oh no.
That's actually
Wait,
scary. I don't want it.
Trust them near your feet.
Terrifying.
You can
Nope.
now have your entire lawn mowed by Roomba with really sharp blades.
Oh god! Oh, okay, never. Oh my goodness, they all just homed in on me.
Do like a
Run away! Run away! Run away! Run away!
Holy shit, they were out for blood. They were out for blood.
I feel like
It
you're
was
telling me
my
you're
blood.
Matt.
Hold your recall.
Who is it?
When you're ready to
Who
call
is
the
this?
pod.
Who do I have here?
I have some legs.
Hey, I did it for the achievement.
Who is
How you
this?
doing?
Hey,
Free stuff.
thank you.
Yay, free stuff.
So much loot.
Oh, I got an eye
God,
exotic
yeah,
for
there is.
glider. So I've gotten the exotic for Wrangler, for Scrapper, and for Glider, but not the one for Bruiser, which is the only character I've been playing.
Ain't that a kick in the teeth?
What the heck is that RNG?
You know, they say that if you love them, you never get their loot.
Be seeing you
I got a skin for Wrangler as well.
You could just,
I'll get
give
one
that skin to me.
for Glider someday. Yeah, I have a skin
Someday.
for Scrapper as well. I haven't played either.
I got a Wrangler skin as well, yeah. Huh.
You know, baby Alex based on a true story.
Hello.
Into space.
What?
I kind of slammed into the pod there.
It's fine. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
Well done, everybody.
What the fuck?
Nope.
Hold on. Hold on.
There we go.
Well done.
Oh, it doesn't do that anymore. No,
Well
it
done,
does.
everyone.
God, this place is beautiful up top.
Now that's comedy.
Yeah. It's just like, how can I move everybody in a random direction right now? All right, slam the ground. Only took 101.
Oh,
hits.
so it's definitely only showing the first 4 people joined.
Oh,
who
yeah,
joined it.
That's true. It's definitely not. Oh, it needs to be more like Deep Rock, where they randomize every single day. You don't know what's happening. I really want to get the hard light prison, where you just lock all the enemies and allies in a prison. Oh, allies hit by your nosedive become immune to damage briefly? That sounds
Yo,
cool.
you shooting me?
I'm gonna grab that one. Make an ally immune with me makes you immune. Oh my gosh, that's kind of cool. Like that.
Damn it.
Cool. So now if I hit someone with my lamb, it should make you immune to damage for a short bit.
You know, one for the front legs and another.
Oh, I got a tweak skin for the swamp launcher.
What? Oh, the tweak skin for the swamp launcher. Okay.
Yeah, it's called swamp.
You're a swamp.
Get out of my swamp.
So question.
Yes.
No answer.
Would you like to see?
Oh yeah, we want to check out that secret boss, right?
I do.
I can be awful.
Right. Oh, did I finish my backlog? I did. Yay! I can pick a new backlog.
Ooh.
I got a bunch. I got a bunch of stuff to look
Complete a
through.
mission
It
as
might be a minute.
Bruiser. Oh
Yeah,
no!
same here, actually.
I am a platform.
Oh, that's cool.
What happened? I can't see it.
What?
What happened?
All right.
Shield.
So, the way this is gonna work, right?
Get your eyes on this.
Is
Get your eyes on
I'll
this.
just have it set to like
Look over yonder.
4 for us,
Look over yonder.
Okay.
and it's gonna sound really weird,
Get your eyes
Yeah.
on this.
but we're gonna want to get in a hole.
I want to get in the hole.
I don't want to get in the
Do
hole.
you think Tweet the Goblin? Oh, do you think I? That's true because we're all bug sized, right? So like, I could just show up and stomp on things, and that would be. Although to be
Wait,
fair,
is that real?
this mushroom infects technology, and I'm part robot.
You're gonna be part
Are we bug sized, or is Rocher just very large?
Oh.
You're gonna be dealing with the lithophage, or a form of lithophage infection again, Tweak. You're fucked.
Oh
Right
god,
away, so
no. Oh no, not again.
Oh, I need 2 more green for the carpet bomb. I want to get that. Also, this is
Just
so
can't
similar.
escape some space shit. Like
This is so silly. Throw your grenade has a chance to instantly recharge it, but also has the same chance to instantly kill you.
I love that grenade mod, by the way.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that raid's funny.
Hey, so
it's
I
great.
feel funny looking right now.
I'm funny looking.
I feel funny looking.
You
Don't tell Tweak.
you look familiar. Like it's some
What
green.
the heck? You look. Oh my god, you got a green skin for my character. You
Oh.
son of a bitch.
Grenades activate your employees' secondary abilities on impact.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting.
Seems like people just can't get enough of Maisie. Here's Fender Bender with another tasty tip.
Oh, I like.
No, it doesn't. Mine purposefully makes you immune to damage, so it doesn't sting. In fact.
You know the worst part is?
What?
No promise.
I actually don't play Bruiser,
Oh.
Oh.
How dare.
but I've got that.
Been having a
This
problem
one.
without affecting on the feed guard. These little dots always eat
Which is like a
new one.
slightly duller version.
You mean your
Yeah.
crosshairs? The
And then
aiming
I've got
program?
this monstrosity.
Alright, so here's the deal.
Ah,
I am gonna help
That's
you.
an interesting
And
one.
this never happened.
That's the party night
RNG.
skin.
Never done blackmailed anyone before.
Yeah, RNG is not my favorite.
Yes, sir.
Shut up! Talk to you later, you twit.
Here, let me help.
Thank you, kind.
That's all
There we
why you
go.
blackmailing me.
There we go. Now you don't have to look at that horrifying skin
Characters.
anymore.
Thank you.
07.
7. Alright, everybody ready?
Oh, did you pick the right mission?
Yeah.
Okay.
Multi. Threat level
Perfect.
4. Prize possession.
Okay, bye everybody. See you on the
Goodbye.
vlog.
No! I was equipping. Like, oh, I made it. I can make it. I can make it.
So the great thing about this,
I made it.
Just want the buzz out of the.
Aim straight. We got places to be.
Oh.
That is pretty great.
How dare.
so what'll end up happening this mission here is we're not gonna do the actual mission.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Tweak,
Okay.
you might
That's a
have
nice
the hardest struggle,
Uh-oh.
because you're gonna have to get vertical for the second half.
Oh.
I mean,
Well, I mean, like, I can make pylons that can make them
That's
Yeah.
I was gonna say going up isn't too bad. It's just I have a cooldown for going up.
Take the power cell.
All right, so there's going to be like a large little conglomeration of mushrooms that we're going to have to find. It's going to be in like one of the corners.
Oh, I found a container. Is
Found
open
some
equals
enemies.
true? We probably don't want to head toward the objective. Although I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Like, because
It really
the
doesn't.
objective will not be touched, like, at all.
Oh, there's a big building over that way.
Look at this.
Like in the distance.
Would that be it?
Yeah, it's not going to be a big building, so
Oh.
we're looking for, like, a collection of mushrooms.
Oh, just a bunch of mushrooms? Okay.
Yeah, because what'll end up happening is there's going to be a hole.
There's a big mushroom that way.
Hey, you ever cook cookies? Well, this is
finish
almost
equipping
nothing like
everything.
that.
This is where
Set
mission
it down a
now.
laser turret so you can cut through the door sealed.
Doors
Like
are
a
for...
recipes yet?
I don't want to run that. Oh,
Doors are for 4s.
yeah!
And move over, I'm a 10.
Oh, heck!
Oh, God, no,
Ooh,
I wish
can
I
I-
had that kind of confidence.
Can I ride this up the... Well, I'm a 12.
Oh.
Damn.
Oh.
Oh, wait a second. What the heck? Hold up.
Wait a minute.
Hold. Hold. There's a bunch of mushrooms over here.
Mushrooms
Like
everywhere.
a
that's the
lot.
problem.
Yeah, that is true. There are mushrooms there. Oh, I think I'm heading pretty much the same way as Broa, actually. Over this way. Like, it looks like there's a big mushroom over that way.
Oh, I think I found it.
Whoa, that one was on purpose.
My ass!
Well, I mean, I hope it's not on your ass, but, you know.
You should
Oh, you
probably
ran
get
over.
that checked out.
My ass is clean, thank you.
That's good to know.
Shut up.
Proud of you.
I mean, it's better to know than it not being.
Hell. Someone get in here and stick them back together, please.
Oh, who broke? Did someone break?
I almost
Oh,
broke.
no one's broken. Okay.
Get ran over by Buzz.
Oh, right, where there's cars. Why was I not using my car? Derp-a-derp.
Because it's more fun to slide everywhere.
Yeah.
Is that the right spot over there?
I'm trying to...
Is it?
Oh, yeah. I see the hole.
Oh.
Bro,
Oh, it's a
has
hole. It is
not
found
me.
the hole.
Going for the
Yeah,
hole.
Here's a sit.
Look over there.
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, whoever's in the car, just drive right there.
Laser thingy's after me. I don't want
The thing has been riding my ass the entire time.
it. Yeah, okay, I'm here.
So far away.
We can wait.
Oh yeah, we have to wait.
That hole.
It'll be worth it. My hint for what you're gonna have to expect against this boss is Happy Pride.
Oh, okay.
Excellent.
Okay. Sounds good.
Little car.
Great, Trent.
Oh, I see Val. Oh yeah, the cars are... So yeah, you can call down a car with number 4 anytime too, but I think you can only do it once in a mission. I am in the hole.
Sending down a cargo.
Nope, you can do it multiple times a mission.
Oh, you can? Oh, that's awesome.
Is inbound to your location.
Oh.
Oh, get through my other car.
Ah!
Welcome to the hole.
Very big
That's
hole.
everyone.
Okay,
It's
I'm
a
going in
nice
the hole.
hole.
Alright, Hurst, get in.
Everyone in the hole.
Alan?
You?
Oh,
We all here?
R has a 3-minute timer
Make sure.
to respawn it.
Cool. Now there's this little button over here. Tweak. Will you do the honors?
Yeah, I slapped it. Oh, we're sealed.
Excellent.
Oh.
Now you're trapped in here with me.
Oh.
And hey, so there's gonna be that big old tower over there. We gotta make it all the way.
Okay.
And we have zero
there's no
resources.
car. What the heck?
Yep.
We're in an area that we cannot call or have communications with the ship or anything.
Oh, interesting.
Forbidden land.
The
Forgotten
forbidden
realm.
Yeah, Roger's probably yelling at us.
How did we get here?
Just like
we...
goddamn idiots.
We clearly went down, which equals sideways.
I keep thinking it's Soot that's screaming. I'm sorry.
It does sound similar.
It does sound very similar to her scream.
It's very
I'm so sorry, we'll stop.
Is it bad? All I can think is just
Use that pylon. Use that pylon.
Call the kobold.
Did y'all fall in a... Oh god.
Yeah, use that pylon.
Oh man.
The majestic.
Maybe I'm actually glider.
Oh, the music here is interesting too.
Oh yeah.
It's got like custom music for the area.
Good. I love the music to this game so damn
It's
much.
so good. Yeah, I love it too.
I'm thinking about actually just doing like a remix of this music.
Yeah.
I need to find like the files for a new remix.
Good. Oh
Do it.
I'm already doing a project for Jing though, so man.
Actually, so I caught someone earlier streaming with like the crowd control mod for Deep Rock, and I was so happy. Like one of the first things like them in their chat were talking about was how they liked the boss music for it. It's like, oh my god.
Yay!
Tweet.
Yay.
I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again. You're a great artist.
You are.
Sure.
You fucking are.
What is
fun
art?
fact, guys, if you all don't know, for those in chat, you can go to Spotify and look up Sipco Gaming Guild for Tweak's music.
Oh yeah, wait, I think
Very
we have
true.
a thing for that. I think we have a thing for that.
Yeah. We have an exclamation mark
So we
music.
gotta make it all the way to the top
dirty big
now.
water.
I'm already climbing.
Alright. Oh, you all climbing? Oh, that's cute.
I gotta climb. Oh
I'm
shit.
sorry, you gotta use pylons for that? That's adorable.
Oh, I have to go higher? Okay.
Oh, son of a bitch, I messed up!
Oh gosh, I have to go higher than this? What the heck?
Yeah.
Oh god, platforming.
Whee! Oh, fuck, I messed up!
Well,
My hubris!
well.
Yeah!
Wow, this is a long way up.
Yeah, it's a lot. But it'll be totally worth it.
Some characters are better at this than others.
This building looks smaller in the distance.
More up?
Can you see where I am?
What?
We going all the way up.
We go all the way up.
All the way up.
I fucked up twice, but I got back up. Oh, we dancing?
You can do it.
Yeah.
Are you trying to grapple me from down there, Philbo? What was it?
No, I'm just trying to pull myself up.
Okay.
Do you want me to drop some pylons down there for you all, maybe to use?
I'm good.
You good? Okay.
I didn't chuck a fire grenade, I swear.
Bang up job on that.
Oh, here we go.
Do we have room for one more? It is a community night.
Yeah, you can hop in.
Yes, sir.
What is happening over here?
Yes, sir.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, hold on, I got an idea.
Anybody can jump in mid-game.
Clapping that ass.
Thank you, kind.
Here we go.
Oh god.
I got this.
Oh god.
It's happening over there.
Oh yeah.
Hell yes.
Hold on, give me a pause. I'm back.
That's nice.
I made it.
Real nice.
Alright, so now that we're all here, right?
Right?
Bro, come back! Come back! Come back!
Yeah,
You're
now we're all
missing
here.
it!
Okay.
Alright, we gotta go up this pipe.
Gotta go up a pipe. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
this
up.
pipe.
Oh,
And then we're gonna have the best thing ever before we even get to fight the boss.
Okay, I like best things ever.
Oh, you gotta be joking.
Piss myself.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
literally
cannot
the
join.
best thing
Oh,
ever.
right. You can't join in the secret boss area, probably. That would make sense.
oh, because we're doing a secret boss.
But after this,
Right.
you'll be able to hop in.
Your mods before we fight.
Oh my god, CBT! It's
Uh,
right there!
Oh my god!
Also, piss myself.
This looks fine.
Alright, well,
like these
Boston, where'd you
things.
get?
Uh-oh.
Anything good?
Oh god.
Oh
That's not
lord.
good.
Oh no, what's happening?
Oh, weird
Oh
Boston.
no!
It's stealing all the goodies.
Disco ball
Cranius.
kicked alive!
Disco level. It's like in
It's
Pikmin with the disco
the evil
long
disco
legs.
ball!
I'm sorry, it's like,
What the fuck is this music? I love
Oh, I
it.
love this!
Probably that I can't join because my builds on the instant block probably lag the equivalent.
nice.
I assume it's just because this area we aren't allowed to even like respawn or anything. Like it's just.
Notice their health. We haven't even really. Oh, there it goes. Now it's starting to do damage.
I think they're immune to damage if you hit the orbs or something, or the orbs are just armor.
Yeah, the orbs act like armor. Yeah, the other time one of them breaks. Yeah. You'll find out.
Ah,
I like how you said that.
Once if I just stand on it and keep shooting it.
Exactly. You'll learn when you're older.
Oh, okay. I definitely didn't like how you said that.
What are you gonna do about it, huh?
What do you mean?
Oh, it's got a shield.
It's got a shield.
Get it. What the fuck?
Oh god,
Holy smokes.
it's doing all the
Shooting
things.
everything everywhere.
Thank God for the shield.
Yeah, I just applied overkill. Hail Mary to incendiary. Oh, I'm hurt.
Did I send it in orbit? Oops.
Oh,
They're
okay.
flying now. You're up here.
They ricochet.
I just slammed into the ground on it. Boom. Uh-oh.
I'll get out.
Oh no! Oh no!
How do we get out?
Get away.
Ooh!
Yay, achievement. Conquer Cranius.
Ooh.
Anyway,
The hive must grow. Swarm launcher upgrade. Cool.
get back up
Ow.
My swarm launcher's got the weirdest upgrades at this point.
I love the swarm launcher. It's such a great
It's
weapon.
my favorite too. At least at the moment. I only have 4 guns unlocked.
There's also
I really
a
like
achievement
it.
for swinging around the pole without it breaking, right? Like the whole swing.
Yeah, there's
I just
there you
got
go.
Yeah.
I'll keep it up.
I have like 3 main guns on my favorite. I like the the Carver plate launcher and the gunship cannon.
Oh, I'm excited to try.
I want to get the gunship cannon so bad.
I mean, to be fair, I'm excited to try anything but the shotgun swarmer, but those are the only 2 kind of at the moment.
But don't you worry. I can help. Speaking of which,
mission directive failed. What?
Oh.
I got objective complete.
I saved the day.
Can't get me.
I died! I died in the ship!
Yeah, bro, it definitely didn't lasso us out the door or anything.
Yeah, nobody died.
Nobody died.
Absolutely no one.
Aw, I got coward.
I got ignited. Yay.
Worst eyesight.
Sadistic.
Hello.
Salutations.
What's your fire? What's your
Ooh.
fire?
That was cool.
Oh, shift to Coppertown, you say?
New upgrades. What does this do? Dealing damage with other gear returns ammo for the... No, that's... Magazine size increased for each unique upgrade that touches this one. Oh, that's cool.
Like, how do you get rid of upgrades?
You can scrap them.
You can scrap them, or if you're talking about just remove from the grid, you right click.
Let's scrap them.
It should tell you when you hover over and what button to press.
Yeah, I think by default it's F, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's F.
For some reason,
I see now.
it to your utility button.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, it's one of those press and hold things.
Oh, that's a tricky one to fit in.
I wasn't looking at the right place.
Oh.
Don't mind me, I'm just in Roaches Raceway.
auto cycler off this thing.
Okay, I gotta take everything off to see if I can fit this in. Okay, so if I put that in.
I'm gonna change my whole setup for this, so I might be a minute.
I can hotbox us. Nice.
Nice, hotboxing.
Scared.
Oh no, it's not that kind of hotboxing. It's just his melee applies fire damage.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, there's no way I can fit that in. Okay.
Alright. I got the tweak upgrade.
The tweakiest of upgrades?
So I got myself one of those fancy schmancy gunship cannons.
Okay, yeah. Oh, is it a DACA upgrade?
So I have 2 builds, right?
I can
and
show
they
my
both
gunship
build nothing. No.
If you look over here, I can show you what my gunship build does.
Oh my god, we're twins.
Oh, do you throw it and then it blows up? Or
no, it's a missile that you charge up.
Oh. Oh man, I want that DACA so bad.
Yeah, I thought you'd like this. So you have a couple choices. You got DACA, right? You also got the 1 pump.
Interesting. More like a cannon.
Yeah.
Been a stale bag,
And then you have just how it normally fires, which is just.
Well, there's also this build.
Oh my god.
That was a lot of explosions.
God, I wish that was me.
the person firing the gun or the person getting shot?
Yes.
Okay. It all makes sense now.
What does it?
Oh, wait, we already did a cleanup.
Oh. On my shotgun, hold reload. Hold reload to charge up bullets. Release to fire all charged bullets in rapid burst.
Oh, those don't seem like those are weird ones. Okay, sure. We're doing a level 5 regulated rampage.
Regulated, you say?
Players deal 20% more acid damage, and enemies have weak limbs. Apparently. I'm sure this is fine in every way, shape, and form.
Well,
firebomb.
Yeah, firebomb.
Oh, you want to talk about firebomb?
Wow.
You want to talk about firebomb? Look at this.
Oh, that's pretty.
I give you a thumbs down for that one.
Here you go.
You'll hear about it more in my Yelp review.
I can't believe my shield actually saved me from that. I had like a sliver of health left. Okay, gonna hit the button, and everyone else can grab onto the side of the play.
Hold on for dear life.
I'm sure your jetpack would love a tank full of mold.
I got money on this one. Don't screw me here.
Just a little pushed around.
Who needs explosives?
How's it going?
to have your
Hello.
ingenuity?
Oh, one punch!
One punch! Bitch there!
Oh my god.
It's the moldy tundra again. I just realized we keep ending up the moldy tundra.
Oh.
The mold calls to us. Kill things till they're dead.
Oh, I wanted to kill things until they were undead.
Sorry, bud.
It's more difficult.
I got a Yuko bomb.
Time to go and fight.
Oh, should I throw it at these guys?
They're coming up.
That is a big girl.
Oh, big guys.
Whoa!
What if I just? I was gonna say, what if I'm just fighting him for the principle of it?
Yeah, you can
no shield.
You get like one drop. Until next Thursday, which is when they reset.
Somebody say DACA?
All the DACA.
Oh, the DACA.
Oh, the DACA.
Actually, I like the bicycle gun shoots a rocket. It's nice.
I like that this is just straight up murder everything.
Yeah.
That is nice. I have to agree.
Right.
No thoughts. Only DACA.
Oh, I think
Look at me sad.
I do like that my slam now makes people invulnerable instead of dealing damage to them. So if I hit any allies, it's like, yeah, you're just invulnerable for a few seconds. No big deal.
I can drive with that.
Oh, I forgot I could use access tokens to guarantee that I get stuff for my character. A bootleg replicator. Ooh.
How do you use those tokens?
They're in your storage on the space rig. Yeah.
Yeah, you can also reuse them in missions too.
Oh, you can? Oh, I have not used one.
Oh, storage.
That makes you very vulnerable to something sneaking up behind you.
I'm sure it's fine.
Anyway.
Okay, there. One's active. Whoa, I broke my legs.
I broke it.
Wee. I got 2 Atlas oysters.
Aww.
Atlas oysters?
Yeah.
Oh, get that. Where is it?
Oh no, I was saying I had 2 Atlas oysters in my storage.
Oh.
Are they good?
Sorry.
What are they for?
Roger will give you cosmetics for them.
Oh, really? Oh, I have one. I should give it to him. Why does he want to eat oysters? That's weird.
Didn't you know? Earth was destroyed like 1,000 years ago or so.
Oh, okay. By the roaches?
Oh.
No, just it's in the lore.
Oh, okay.
The giant roaches.
Who's running around with a giant laser light show around
Oh no,
the
whose
time?
half is this?
What the fuck?
There's a broa butt over there.
I got you. I got you, homie.
I got the other half of bro.
What are those laser
Wait, is this
saws going there?
There we go. There we go.
The plate yeah, it's a plate launcher upgrade. It's exotic.
Oh, okay.
That's hilarious.
I still don't have a plate launcher.
Yeah. I'm getting a lot of bootleg replicators.
I need to level up.
Yeah,
That's
leveling
the
up's the issue at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the level. You can do a lot more.
Okay, well, that's enough killing for now.
No, it's not enough killing Rocher.
Pants!
Never enough killing.
Pants! Does the pants go to this pants? It does.
That's not blowing yourself up.
Oh my god, look at all these things. It's like there's an invasion going on.
Get away.
Whoa!
Got everybody liking the pylons.
I've been using your pylons to get airborne so I can do my slams.
Oh.
I know, I'm glad people are liking the pylon.
Sweet.
Yes.
Sweet, now you come here. Follow me.
Okay. Bye everybody. Have fun.
I'm gonna give you the biggest boom.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're being chased by a boom.
Yeah, no. Kill me, shoot me, hurry.
Shoot you.
And grab this gun.
It's your asses if this job goes under.
What the heck?
Stop shooting each other.
How?
One shot.
Oh, one shot. Okay. Oh, I gotta put you back together.
But you gotta hold. But you'll love it. Just make sure nobody's nearby when you do it.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. I gotta hold it. Okay. Where's something big to shoot at? Oh, here comes a horde of guys. Okay, perfect. It's still charging. It's still charging. It's still charging.
All right, you hear what he said. Don't stand too close to who?
Oh!
Oh!
Oh, wow.
That wiped out that whole area. I'm just kind of surprised it didn't kill anybody.
That was the only one I had, Tweet. But I wanted you to use it.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you didn't give them the rail gun of doom?
No, I gave Tweak the countdown with the hand.
Yeah.
I really
it
wish
just kept
instead of
charging.
I really wish instead of doing the normal countdown, it would have the middle finger at the end, because that's so in tone with this game.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh, we're supposed to call in our escape pod, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah.
We've done enough killing.
Yeah!
Well, joke's on you all, I got a car!
You'll occasionally see Roachard in it.
Yeah! Yeah! Woo!
Oh. Laser abomination.
Taki, how you doing?
How's it going, Taki?
Does meat consumed as comfort food count as emotional support animal? Oh my god.
That's so dark, but I love it.
Technically, yes.
Depends on how close you were to them.
Oh!
Yeah. Oh, there's a head over here. Whose head is this?
Oh shit!
How's time go?
Hey, you did it right.
How did it hang?
Oh!
This is your butt over here. Philbo took your butt.
I'd rather bring your butt over here.
Yeah.
Okay. Over there. Yeah.
No, Taki, it's like...
Oh, we gotta get the pod. Yeah.
It's just like... How can it be so controversial yet so true?
Yeah.
Like, you're
front is that way. Okay.
You're not wrong.
Hey, everybody.
That's why it's funny and cursed.
I can't keep them out there much longer.
I made
I
it.
see Tweak wants to go flying again.
What do you mean?
I don't think there's any vegans here, so it's okay.
That makes it okay.
Yes, it does. Yes.
I got borderline blood, but I
Stop shooting each other.
You suck,
whoever.
Goodbye, everybody.
Oh shit! Oh fuck! I got left behind! Oh no, wait,
Don't worry, sis.
Hold on, I can go save them!
I got friends!
Oh my God.
Friends! I put friends back together!
Oh, okay.
I can help you fly.
So,
Literally respawn and then just get knocked back out of the pod.
So not a lot of survivors there.
Hey, but I got 2 achievements. Let's go!
Nice.
I was also deadliest.
Wait, what's Sweetie Blood Medal for Scrapper?
One of those cursed things that are not exactly wrong, but you kind of want it to be.
Oh, shield projector cooldown is reduced. That just sounds good. Oh wait, I already have that. Oh, this one's not as good. Okay, scrap it. There's actually already a mod for this game that basically is just like,
what?
You can just duplicate, or not duplicate, sorry, anything can be doubled up. So like if you have the same mod, you can stack it over and over.
That does sound nice.
It does.
Oh,
I gotta.
Wow.
So.
Fucking give!
I'm right.
Oh, did y'all open the garage?
I watched this.
I'm
what
sorry.
the shit?
What's going on?
How did the garage get open?
I just got one called 3D Blood Metal.
Oh.
Bitch.
Sounds like the name of a metal band.
Oh, how do I give Roachard the oysters?
Just go talk to him.
Oh, okay. Roachard, where the hell are you?
On me. Where is the Roach Man?
Oh, right,
Roach
I forgot.
Man!
Roachman!
Roach Man!
Roachman!
Y'all seen Roach right over here? Y'all seen Roach?
Actually, where is he?
He's right over here.
I forgot, Chris. I had that oddity on.
Yeah.
And everything became
Oh, there he is. Hey,
Australian
Roach!
for a bit.
Roach! Stop running from me!
But they only
Y'all
run.
seen Roachard anywhere?
Calm your asses down. I'm right here.
Wait.
Oh, I'm
Chris,
level 11.
how
Does
can
that
you
mean
get-
I can finally unlock a new one? I can!
What do you mean?
Oh, I need 35 to unlock the plate launcher. Okay.
If you just jetpack, how high can you get?
I can unlock a plate launcher.
Sir!
Like right there.
Okay.
Well, you have that. You have. What the fuck do you have?
To me.
Wait, what is that?
Do you have initial force? No.
No, I picked
Eyes
up
have a chance to stroke
oddity.
from targets you kill. What the heck?
Oh, you have an oddity. Okay.
Yeah, that one, it's like the 0.04% chance.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's the only reason why, but everything becomes Australia. Like, I go to, like, fly, and everything flips upside down for me.
Oh, that was an achievement, apparently, for lassoing another player.
Yep.
So you just click a button?
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta play a different place. How about...
Yeah.
There is a satellite dish in the desert. How about now?
Freaky little thing.
Oh, and we can go up to Hazard 6 now, since we just did a 5.
Yeah.
We're just destroying things. So might as well... Why are you dying?
Oh my god.
Wait, it's a little... How'd a mushroom get on the ship?
Oh, there's in the training area. I didn't know one of them got away. Over here, you just spawn him in to test certain upgrades that only work when you kill an enemy.
Val was getting killed by a training enemy that escaped to the training area.
Oh. And that pulled me right out of what I was doing. Okay.
Oh, sorry. I thought being dead was.
Oh,
gonna
I reset
do that.
all of it. Ah, damn it.
No.
That's fine.
Oh.
Training area. Oh, right. Rail grinding. I forgot that was the thing.
Sweet Taka.
Heads up.
So one of my favorite things I like to do when I'm on the rails grinding is I like to emote. I like to use the wanker
I've
one.
been murdered.
Oh, you can dance on the rails while you're grinding. That looks weird.
I love you.
Yeah.
I'm all used to the end of new acting.
I want to see if this thing tells me they're gonna kill me or not, because it does it once.
6% immune to all mushroom-based tech targeting pathogens. Huh. Only 6% immune. That should be fine, right? I can get
Only
that.
6%.
Come on, tell me you
Should
murder
be
me.
fine. Oh, metal pipe. Oh, someone already did it.
Yeah, I was curious about that.
Okay. I'm good now.
Oh, the jump is just like a dash forward? Okay. Huh. I gotta do a mission as a
for the
Wrangler,
Wrangler, yeah.
so...
Oh, yeah, understandable.
Yeah. For the... whatever the new daily thing they have, the backlog.
Yeah, the backlog is very interesting.
Yeah, I've never seen it till today.
Have we done that? Probably not.
No, it's brand new. It's personal missions. So, like, I had to play a mission as a bruiser, now play a mission as a Wrangler.
Oh, okay.
But whatever one you pick in the row, it locks the other one. So you gotta pick the one you want the most.
Get me up.
Yeah, it really locks you in, so you're only going one direct path.
Ah.
What happens if I throw the upper part into space?
Into space?
Into space.
I don't know. Space.
Space.
That barrel did a lot of damage.
It did. Shit.
Are you riding a little cart?
No.
What the
Oh
heck?
shit.
I'm stuck.
I went way too far with this radio.
I think they're actually stuck there. It's fine.
I'm stuck.
Yeah, you can. There's like 2 little carts around that you can just ride. And there's a certain spot in the ship.
Oh, we're throwing things in here?
There's a
Yeah.
certain spot in the ship that if you ram the cart.
Okay, someone else started it, so I thought I'd finish it. That's all.
Shall we do the thingy?
Yes.
Yes, let's.
Get your asses inside.
Yeah, Roachard is sick of us.
What? Oh.
Good luck.
Well, I think I yeeted someone else out by accident.
That was me.
I was trying to eat Suda.
Fires.
I will remember this.
What? Nah. Hey,
Oh
everybody,
my
how's it
god.
going?
What have I done? What have I done? Okay, let go of me. So the physics on that were really weird. I was still holding on to that radio when it spawned me back into the pod, and I was going all over the place.
Satellite up here somewhere.
Yes,
You got a harvest. Get
Oh,
those decommissioning stations connected.
hello?
Knock her down.
Hola, ¿cómo está? Mi hermana en Pulo Death.
Roberto, ¿tú hablas español?
No.
Pero tú hablaste español.
Je ne comprends pas, pas en français.
¿Qué es eso? ¿Italiano?
Oh no. I don't know any of them. Well, to be fair, I can kind of understand French, but I can't speak it very well.
The only thing I know in French is what triggers most French people.
Well, especially Canadian French. Canadian French is like slang French to French people.
I don't care if it's supposed to be my secondary language. I did terribly. I just cannot pick it up.
I love hitting things with bees.
You know what?
So much.
The desert is so much easier to throw these in than the city.
Wait, what?
Like the city is so much harder to do the cables in.
Actually, wait. Is it messed up?
Is it?
It knocks you off if you're on it.
Yeah, we have two different people who are doing the same pylons.
Wait, which ones?
Or the pylons,
Oh,
around the power.
Oh, two people took the pink ones?
Yeah.
No, that's fair. It happens. It is weird that doesn't, like, lock you out of a pylon that's currently being thrown, though.
Yeah, that is weird. I've been able to just put down, like, random pylons as a result of that, and they're just kind of floating.
Get out of here, you don. Oh, wow. These enemies hit way harder on difficulty 6.
Oh, are we on difficulty 6?
Yeah, we're on 6
now.
Yeah. We've gone all the way up to 6. Well, last one was difficulty 5, and I think we did pretty good.
Oh yeah. We're scaling things up.
Scaling things?
Oh wait, do we already need to go to the next one?
Scaling things?
No, you have the wrong side.
Oh, it's both sides. Oh.
No, it's not both sides. You just went on the wrong side.
Oh. Oh, interesting.
Right over here.
Oh, whoop.
Yeah, these enemies are tougher.
I did not mean to drop it. Here, hold on. Let me just throw that back over that way for you.
Okay.
There you go. That's gonna be a very weird grind. Hold on, I gotta try this. Oh, it actually zigzags back and forth super fast there.
Sniper.
Yeah. Oh, it just stopped.
Oh my god, I'm 80% in the market for a bigger hat. Sign me up.
Oh, bigger hat. That, you know what? That would be pretty funny to just have like a hat grow.
An ever-increasing size of hats.
I am working on something.
Yeah, like that could work with that.
The biggest hat.
God, I don't know why, but I pictured that Ben Swallow like more. It's the size of the hat growing.
Oh, I was picturing the scary movie with the police woman's hat that just keeps growing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is something
Just
wrong,
doesn't even acknowledge
Father?
it.
No. Hello. Oh man, this is such a long rail grind and I love it.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't need to grind. I'll fly.
Sending down a cargo pod.
I'm coming back.
This is perfect. I can take a little like hydration break.
It's really nice just grinding.
Oh man, the blue cable's so long and it has like a little zigzag in the middle that
just keeps going and going.
Ow! Where the fuck is the sniper?
It's
right
nice.
There.
Well, when a mommy sniper and a daddy sniper love each other very much.
I'll have a drink of some gamer subs.
They camp on opposite sides of the map and never see each other again.
Fascinating. I'm gonna write that down. Notes.
Need to
Eagle-eyed
go
nuclear
to
bombs.
the gamer store and get some milk.
Yes.
Oh, my dad did that. He still had to come back.
Oh, this is good.
It's dangerous. It's dangerous out
He
there.
started with the story of, "Hey, daughter, I'll be back," and then never came back.
I need to add that to the Deep Rock crowd control, the father bowl.
Oh yeah, you gotta bring it back. Bring it back.
I love the father bowl.
It's so good.
Oh. See, I thought you were saying like you need to go and add like Soot's father to Deep Rock. I'm like, what?
No, thank you.
Dark turn of events.
No, we have a bulk that basically when it comes up to you, instead of exploding, it says I have to go get cigarettes, and then it just despawns.
I love you, son.
It should like say like, oh, it spawned in a normal bolt, so it'd be like a J.
Oh yeah, no, it does. Yeah, it definitely doesn't have any sort of indicator or anything that it's. Oh, but like yeah, the spawn message. That's a good idea.
Decommissioner's
terrifying, but it's so great.
I'm still sliding.
Yeah, we hit it first.
I don't know why I keep getting shot.
Oh, it's right here. It's gonna drop here.
Oh heck! Right on our faces.
Basically, that means we can get in there faster.
Wait a second. Did Roaster just say it's stripping time?
Oh,
Maybe. Yeah, stripping time, gang.
Okay.
So I guess we're stripping down.
I suppose.
I didn't realize it was that kind of party.
Yeah, me neither, but you know, when in doubt.
Right now.
If it's in the contract, I suppose.
If it's in the contract.
Rolling,
I got my hands on this one.
It's rolling. Keep it on a rolling, roll high. Roll it up, roll it down, roll all the way around. Rolling, roll high.
I want to be free.
It's actually easier, weirdly enough, if only one person carries it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Hey there.
Oh, long legs.
Almost missed it.
Oh, that's awkward.
Oh,
there we go.
Right, I'm coming around with it. Hang tight.
Brought you back.
Oh, that one looks explodey. I don't like it.
Coming around with number 2.
Show me number 1 again.
I want to be free.
I want to be
How's it
free.
going over here?
Yeah.
Full speed ahead.
Ooh!
Full
Hang on,
speed.
let me jump. 2-2.
Mineral heavy meteor inbound.
Oh,
once it lands, you can blast
Oh,
it
no.
skyward.
Oh god.
Oh, now. Worth checking out.
I said to be careful.
We gotta go eat
That was
the
a
meat.
workplace incident.
The meat, right?
I want to report this.
Where's the meteorite?
Where are the legs?
Brosource, I would like to report this workplace incident that just occurred.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Alright, fine. You win this round.
Is it over there? Is the meteor over that way?
Guys, look at this.
Yeah.
Over here.
I need them meat rights.
Show me the meats.
Everybody knows that rocks from space taste better. If it's
Oh,
a little meteor.
yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all are overshooting this completely.
Yeah, that's most of them are going off the wrong side.
They have like such a low gravity to them. It's strange.
Also, you almost killed me.
Well, much faster with this many people.
I'll send a drone to collect them short.
Oh, bye.
Bonus inbound to you as
There was 2 people standing in it. Thank God.
Oh yeah, yeah, bye.
Hang on. I get you, Val.
I got a.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
I
we
didn't-
go.
I didn't know whose legs I had, but I had someone's legs. Oh, I got someone else's legs here.
Not at all. Oh my
Oh,
god.
I got you. Nope.
Oops.
Nope. Over here.
Wait, am I constantly spewing out corners as I'm
Wait, are you?
when I was like disconnected from my lower half?
They're playing it safe, so just give me 2 more seconds.
What?
Wait, did I yank? I yanked
Where
Chris.
it's science time.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh, we
Sorry
did the
about
thing.
that. It's okay.
Odds coming down.
Oh, yeah,
Wait,
Make
wait,
sure
wait.
you all get in
Test
this
it, test it.
time.
Come on.
Or,
Oh my god.
Okay, well,
Hold up.
You're not doing enough damage. Hold on, I got this.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Come on. I know an enemy that can end me.
I know a face I
You.
heard.
Dude, don't catch.
Got crawlers. I hate crawlers.
Nade.
I hear shiny. Where do you at?
Oh my god, this game is running very well for having more players in the lobby.
Grab my torch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's actually.
I haven't had like any frame drops at all.
Like I get the very slight frame drop, so only when everyone like chucks all their grenades at the same time, and that's understandable.
There we go.
Yeah,
There's a
understandable.
sniper aiming at me. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah, you are.
Considering the sheer amount of enemies that spawn, like, I feel like I'm kind of built for it.
Yeah, that's true. Oh god.
I saw little swarmer bits dropping.
Oh god, they got the helicopter lasers.
Oh wait, no, maybe not. I take it back. I think that's somebody else's stuff.
Okay, just throw me out then.
Alright.
I think I have to be like mid, like doing everything. I don't know.
Drop pod will be here in 13 seconds. Oh, someone else just exploded. I'm
Can
coming.
people stop exploding?
I got one question and one question only. Explosions?
Explosion.
Explosions? Whose legs are these?
Well, when someone's got legs for days, sometimes they need to have days for legs. I'm just gonna hang out in the pod here. Don't worry about it.
That's fair. We should probably go into the pod. I'm getting the bloodlust. I can't help it.
Good old bloodlust.
Oh, propane.
07, bro.
Bloodlust.
Bloodlust.
Oh god.
Oh fuck, I forgot I didn't realize that.
Oh, overhealing? Did I get all of us?
Yeah, I think that there's somebody there.
Hey!
Let's just go.
Yeah, just get out of here. That was hilarious.
Mission complete.
Oh, the chaos.
And nothing of value was lost.
Oh my god, that's so many depths.
Literally everyone but me.
Okay then.
Were we coming more and more problems towards each other than the actual enemies?
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah. You know how often me and Chris purposely seek each other out to shoot each other? Or to
Every
smack
time.
another?
Every time.
Oh, absolutely.
Godzilla. Thanks, game.
I see you looking at me. Don't you fucking.
Bullets phase through targets if they haven't
Don't
bounced.
try to be like, you know what? I gotta make a point now. Just.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh
Come here.
god.
Fuck off.
I think everyone just needs some good old tunes.
I know what you are.
No, you
Get out of me, Chris.
I don't know what you mean. I'm just existing. I'm flying over this way.
Bitch, you know that?
Damn, Richard.
Wow.
Damn.
You know what?
What the hell was that?
I wanted to do that. Either. Come here. Come here.
You fucking shit.
I ground you so hard.
You're gonna get shit.
The increased difficulties do get super tough. I can't do it on my
Level
own.
7 right now, from what I've done, feels kind of unbalanced.
Yeah, is it?
Like it's like he doesn't feel like it's fully
No, that's fair.
Well, they just included this in an update today, yesterday. So the Hazard 7 is still really new.
I don't like this.
I need more Yuko.
Why don't you like? I have no Yuko, like 0.
Who's trying to push me through?
I need more.
How does the
I have like
Yuko
a
keep
ton
it
of
at 0?
everything else. This is the hardest one to get.
You know what?
Okay,
It's
let's
also the most used one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we need to go to an area with Yuko. So the city or the tundra, but we keep doing the tundra. So how about the city?
We'll do tundra.
Damn,
Do we
bro.
want
How
to
the
do
fuck?
salvage, shoot the satellite, or transportation of barrels?
We haven't done transportation yet.
Yeah.
We could say hi to Hunk.
Yeah. Threat level 6 hunk. That sounds fun.
It really doesn't, but
I'm sure this couldn't possibly go wrong in any way, shape, or form.
right.
Not at all.
With our group, never.
Never. Never. Never. Never.
Your walls can't contain me.
Why am I taking damage in this?
Who's taking like asinine amount of damage? Oh.
Excellent. What is happening out there?
Why is that so loud?
More Roachard. Don't worry, nothing's happening, everybody. Don't worry.
Oh, right.
See what you're doing.
What?
It's at some point.
Nothing's happening. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The pod is definitely not sealed. Why doth it burn?
Flamethrower is very effective at team killing.
Oh wait, it's a flamethrower? That's cool.
Oh, so a tactic we can do, I have the vacuum with the acid grenade, so what I can do, when enemy spawns, throw the grenade so they get all sucked up and someone throw a Yuko at them.
I run on the outside of the pod.
Yeah, you can kind of set people up for that.
Yeah, so we're looking for a Yuko on this mission.
I figured out how to do it.
Ow.
Well, there's a Yuko right here.
If you get up into the top of the rocket, like right in the middle and crouch down, you don't get sucked into the rocket. It sticks to your side.
Alright, activate it.
Ew, that thing was wiggling in my face and I didn't like it. Okay, I got a Yuko on me.
Okay, let's let some enemies spawn in and then get them out of them.
Don't mind me, just moving this barrel of Saxonite.
Together so they all get near each other.
I'm hugging Tweak.
Don't mind me, just doing the objective.
There's quite a few enemies here. Or little ones, but yeah.
Okay, I'm right here. I'm gonna throw one. Who has it?
I have it. I'm on you. That looks like it worked.
It worked.
Yeah. Oh, someone got exploded.
Bro!
Oh, dang, these are some nice legs.
Uh-oh.
Thanks. I was manufactured that way.
I was made to be perfect.
Uh-oh. Goodbye, guys.
This was made to be an actor.
What?
Floating.
Why? What happened?
Well, you see, I got exploded differently.
What? I don't understand.
You will when you're older.
Oh.
See, someone's bringing the barrel down to the barrel refinery.
Definitely not me.
Nice job.
Woo!
Well, we just need to fill it up. Oh, there's Yuko here, if anyone
actually,
wants
you know
that.
what? Oh, another Yuko? Wow, yeah.
Well, this is... Unless, of course, this is just the drop-in. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Do you not see that?
That's probably the stuff that got dropped, yeah. Because that's blindside.
Okay. I'll take that then, thank you.
Oh no, bro, you got split again.
This is 6...
You don't have to prove you can do the splits. It's fine.
What you doing? Huh?
What you
doing?
There you go, back together.
Thank you.
They're half the bro they used to be.
Don't make me do it, Grace.
Oh no!
Don't make me do it.
You don't do it.
Just have a laser abomination spawn in.
Stop.
I'm gonna try and...
Whoa, that barrel's going into orbit.
I'm going down.
Yeah, barrel physics are kind of wonky.
I'm slam dunking it.
Now that's just plain.
Also, I can't break that.
Yeah.
Oh. There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Alright, awesome.
Wait, it didn't
Let me
do
recover my health.
But this is the right one.
Yeah, it is
orange
the right
orange, right?
Yeah.
Oh, someone else took the shield.
What the heck?
Yep.
I saw it hit the thing and you slam dunked it and didn't go in.
I'm not mad. I'm furious.
Barrel's all done.
Yeah.
Let me just...
Ooh.
Oh!
Okay, why is this one anyone else seeing this one? What the heck? That was weird. It was like a fungus that was like attached to me, and it wasn't doing damage, but it wouldn't leave.
It's fine. It's just vibing. Yeah. Pet fungus.
There we go.
Thank you.
I mean, canonically speaking, Brutus is the one who would go and actually bring the fungus onto the ship.
We got there eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna call Wrenches down here, because I assume he's gonna come out of the thingamaboo.
Yes.
Oh, there's a dead Buzz up there somewhere, too.
Where? Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Hey, try to destroy the metal
blew
legs
up
if you
on me.
can in the middle because the abominations have, because for some reason they can get glitched and become invincible.
Oh.
So enemies will just constantly pick them up and hit you with them.
I got all the wrenches down here. Why won't this core die? Ah. There we go. Core didn't want to die.
I guess you could say there was a wrench in your situation.
Everyone got a wrench? Are you ready to meet Hunk, the hunk of your dreams?
Yeah,
He's certainly hunky.
Watch your fire! Watch your fire!
Oh, I got Yuko.
Yeah, so enemies are just going to be carrying that around and constantly slapping us with it.
Okay. So.
Yeah, let's
go, Hunk!
Hunk time!
Hunk time!
Lock and load.
Oh, the Swarmer goes through shields. That's good to know.
Just hit the wheels with it.
Yeah.
And beat micro robots over the head with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
He doesn't follow normal car physics either at certain points.
Yeah, you'll see.
Comment on it.
I mean, he is approaching. He is approaching a wall right now.
Yep.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Everybody knows that it's Hunk. He's allowed to break the physics.
This is true.
Allowed.
Is he just sliding along the wall?
Look at this.
Beautiful.
Look at this. He's going backwards now.
Oh.
That's Hank. That's our hunk for you.
What a man.
Yeah.
What a hunk.
What a hunkalaroo.
I'm very scare-roused.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man, look at that driving right
Look at
there.
his-
That was great.
Oh my god, yeah, that was. He was just on like 2 wheels on one side. It was amazing. I wanted to say multi-track drifting, but that didn't make any sense.
I couldn't fix you. I tried to hit a teammate with a wrench. It did not work.
You know, you can actually heal his wheels with glider's missiles.
Oh.
Oh, really?
This alley is now blocked. No mushrooms allowed.
Alright, good.
Send it down the cargo pod.
Oh, what kind of cargo pod?
Wait.
Don't worry about it.
It's just a
I
goddamn
didn't do anything.
It's just a race car. Oh, I got hurt there.
Oh!
That was Oh
Yeah.
I got some legs over here.
A little too real.
Yeah, that corrosive into the fire.
Oh really? Okay. It was like 1 inch from touching.
Oh, what happened there?
Punk, what are you talking about?
I don't think Hunk knows what he's talking about.
Go home. Go home, Hunk, you're drunk.
He's seen these before.
I always
Dark
drink better when
times.
I drive.
That's why he's curious about what's in our pocket, though.
Oh, that laser.
Let myself on fire so I can have infinite ammo going into this one. Yeah. There we go.
Spin back around ASAP, you hear?
Oh, he's got to spin around again? Okay. Ow. Yep.
Do you want another fancy gun?
Oh my god. Where do you keep getting all these fancy guns from?
Internet.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah, that's a place.
I didn't know you had Fairly Odd Parents, but...
That's alright.
Okay,
that time.
Oh god.
That time, my frames went down to 68.
You are gonna have more help than me there, yeah.
Alright, there we go, my buddy.
You must live.
I give you the world's most powerful laser pointer.
It's the world's most powerful laser pointer.
Dark times
it is
indeed.
a powerful laser pointer. What the heck is... Oh, it dropped my wrench. Okay.
It's fine, you don't need it.
Yeah, because I think the wrench and the other gun you just picked up take up the same slot. 3.
450. Oh, I see.
That's a big gun.
Is it the laser cannon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember they used to have a bug with it where if you shot it in a certain way, I think it's the host. I think it's either the host or someone that joined the game would start just basically having laser vision.
Oh dear.
So if they looked at something, you would start taking damage as if you were shooting with a laser.
That's awesome.
That's kind of great.
It was also visible too, so you didn't know if you're hitting a teammate or not.
It's a bet that my brain immediately goes just like to me, my X-Men.
Oh, okay. We're drifting.
My high ground doesn't work anymore.
Oh, I'm so
Punk
sorry.
only drifts. He's drifting the whole time.
You know what's funny? So they're just spinning the wheels and making him slide along whatever path. That's exactly how I animate enemies in Deep Rock Galactic. I can design for this game. Oh
Yeah, it's all the same thing.
Quick mods.
I exploded.
Oh look, I got your leg squeak. Gucci.
Oh, hello.
Mycopunk mods 1.
Can we please get his legs?
What's a leg?
Give me a leg.
I needed a leg up on the competition.
Oh, my leg.
Leave Punky alone! Okay, I think... There he goes.
He's in
Into the
thing
void he
loop.
goes.
Is this the one that has guns on it that you
Forever
can
unknown.
like...
Forever unknown.
I found another another Yukite. There's another Yuka over there.
Oh, another Yuko bomb?
Yeah, another Yuka bomb.
Yeah,
Can you bring it?
enemies are gonna start swarming in a bit, so let's wait for that.
Oh fuck, I gooped up.
I see the thing.
the map.
You come on.
Why would you do that?
This is neat.
I will get there. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a thing over here.
Grab it.
Alright.
Give me some cover.
Right here.
Yep.
Try to give you some cover while you're
I
inside.
need a massive enemies to throw this at.
Many. Oh, they're there.
There's not that many there.
Yeah.
There's 2.
Oh, there's a bunch over here.
I'm trying to get a bunch of them together. You know, I hope I got
They're
some in
starting
there.
to come.
There was some Yuko.
There we go.
I got a little bit.
Were you doing the extra objective over there?
Yeah, I'm working on the extra one.
I'm shooting everything in the turret. Oh god, they found my turret. They learned of the turret.
Okay.
God, that thing is moving so fast.
Yeah, enemies, if they have a target, they will scale their movement speed to catch up to you.
Well, hey there, bro. How you doing?
How you doing?
There's a connection over here. And 2
Yep, for
separate
you.
body parts.
Fun fact, when you die, you're dead.
Damn.
Wow, that's a fun
Wow.
Well, that's not really a fun fact, but it's a fact.
I was going to say, here's another fun fact. Bing Bong's divorced.
Yeah.
Oh!
So
Really?
what I'm hearing is there's a chance.
Yeah.
Just watching is in sprint timing.
I like how it says protect the rocket, but when Soot and I did this, we didn't protect the rocket at all, and every enemy was hitting
Yeah,
it
you
the
don't
whole
have to do
time,
shit.
and it didn't matter, yeah.
You just have to shoot enemies, and it's just like, okay, dirtle. Keep progressing.
I didn't blow myself up. What are you talking about?
What? I fired a rocket into space.
This nerd.
My legs. My legs.
You know what? Alright, fine. I guess I have the upper half here.
Punk has been sent on his way.
Hey!
It's like, I was about to say I might be okay with this. I'll just keep the lower half.
I once had the rocket actually slow.
Wow, Tweak!
Hold your recall switch when you're ready to call the pod.
So, Tweak.
Yes.
You a thighs or a wing kind of goblin?
I'm a booty kind of goblin.
I understand.
And they knew what they were doing with Glider in this game. Or Glider.
They did.
There's not much mushroom for error.
Get out.
Hey, I thought I was a fun guy.
Please explode. Please explode. Please explode. Please explode. Sorry, I'm talking to Fungus, not you, Tweak. You can exist.
I don't know. Sounds like that's the rare opinion right now.
I wasn't just trying to manifest you spontaneously combusting.
Just staring at you with like the deadliest, angriest stare. Just like, please.
Elbow.
Oh, what? There was something about that.
That one forehead vein pulsating.
Yes.
Like, have you seen that video where like it's a goblin like walks up to you and says, "Look what I can do," and proceeds
it's a
to just
kobold.
focus?
Yeah,
I'm thinking of the kobold one.
Yeah,
No, I haven't seen that.
Bilbo.
Yeah!
And then you watch as the sun explodes.
I absolutely
Explode
love
the sun.
Punky Doodle.
That's totally me.
It's so good. There's an
Speaking of exploding.
There's an abomination. Do we kill it or do we escape?
If you get me up, I'm killing it.
I love the one I just recently watched where this guy's like, I hope I'm not coming off too forward. And he pulls out a frog. And she's just like, oh my god, I love it! Just like, yeah, that's
Frogs
how
are
you get a
pretty
girl.
awesome, actually.
That's, yeah, facts.
Oh god, I got lasered!
No, it's got a pixie on it.
The one that's like closest to me
My one weakness.
personality-wise, Paladin, where he's just like, the guy is just mad on the ground there.
Oh god. The pod's gonna leave.
Whoa! Whoa! Yeah.
You guys gotta get in the pod. Whoever's left.
Oh, dog went the wrong way!
It's almost dead. Where is it? Oh,
Oh.
shoot it.
Wait,
Shoot it with something else.
I got it!
I got the
You're
call.
eating plasma.
Whoa!
Did I just ascend?
Guess I'm going home alone.
I guess so. GG, Val.
The only two to escape.
I couldn't find it. I was getting distracted by so many enemies.
Man, still not a single skin for the Bruiser.
Oh my god.
Now what'd you get?
Ooh.
I got an exotic.
Man, that was not a lot of extra Yuko for doubling everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't give you enough Yuko. What the heck?
They really don't.
It's not exotic, but I just got a thing from my new gun where if I kill a target while I'm airborne, it lets me hover for a moment. I'm gonna unlock that and play it on my gun. I gotta remember to use my secondaries.
Elemental health. Element shock health. Gain health when you stop taking damage from gun attack.
Energy. Convergence.
2237.
My god.
What does this do?
Stacks of power into overflow.
I have so much power now.
Later.
Well, I finally got it.
Oh.
Oh,
I need
my
35.
goodness.
What have you done?
Rasengan.
I felt that.
Is that just like an exotic for that gun?
Yeah, for the plate launcher. Oh, see ya.
Oh. Why does it explode into bees?
That's another upgrade I have on it.
Oh,
So,
okay.
That one is called bee call.
Bee
call.
Yeah. Plates create a
bee
bee
call.
explosion when recalled. Once enough bees are applied to a target, they begin dealing damage. Bees last longer than other elements.
Hey, gang, fill out this survey for a few gaps. Can I get everyone's favorite fruit?
No.
Only if I'm getting paid.
No
Watermelon.
Everyone's favorite fruit.
You moron.
I'm not telling.
Watermelon.
My favorite.
That's how they get the
fruit
targeted ads.
Is the fruity one.
Oh.
Yes. My favorite fruit is fruit flavored.
Yay,
Yes.
fruit flavor.
Ah, yes. I love that fruit flavor.
Give me the fruit packets.
Okay. Ready for some planetary defense?
Wait, what the fuck?
I just like shooting lasers at space stations.
Yeah, that's fair. Actually, hang on, before we go. Okay, now we can go.
Oh, wait, that's the thingy. I heard the pipe sound. What is happening
Another
over there?
workplace incident.
Oh yeah, that was appropriate, Lisa.
Hello. Oh, thanks.
Hello.
Hello, I'm keeping this.
Wait, Rocher, what are you doing with that? Put it down. Put down the radio. Put it down. Put it down.
Hold up.
He stole the radio.
You know that?
Give me the radio.
Alright.
Man, this game is weird and silly.
I got a gift for you.
No.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
What?
Okay.
Fine.
I was gonna give you the gift of permaflight.
Doing my part with the moving.
Permafly, you say?
Oh,
So
that
jump.
Wait.
Oh, hold up. Jump again for me.
It already kind of fly.
Really? It doesn't actually. Okay, hold up. Is it?
See, we're flying.
Did they patch it?
Oh,
Buzz and I
I
are
did
flying.
get an upgrade. Okay, hold up. One more time. Right, jump.
Oh.
Hold up. I think it's lower now than what it used to be.
Is the shotgun just bad? It feels like
Oh god.
it's bad.
Oh god, somebody's inside me.
It does.
Oh god.
So shotgun does more
realized
damage when it
something.
deflects off something.
Hold up. Run towards these guys real quick.
Oh,
Okay, now
it was already
spin
turned
for
on.
me.
That feels bad.
Oh, okay.
You have lightsaber legs going on right now with it.
Help me.
No wonder. Can I?
Assistance required.
Oh my god.
It's stuck to my face.
I'll fix it.
Oh, okay, it's gone. Cool.
The shotgun, I actually really enjoy it.
Help me.
Great, Trent.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Help me.
Heard you. I'm coming.
Need help. Here.
okay, I'm hitting the lever.
10 seconds to launch. Get inside and get ready to rumble.
Huddle up,
On
everyone.
my way. Try to stay in one piece out there.
Oh boy.
Oh man, I'm like a few, whatever that green stuff is. Yuko. I'm like 4 Yuko away from the platform gun.
Sweet.
Why is Yoda looking at me judgingly? Like, what the fuck? Don't look at me!
That dog's also judging.
Pupper.
Management's concerned about
cute,
a
Pupper.
UFO spy ship.
But it's cute,
That's
so
good,
it's allowed.
Pupper.
Your job is to power up the planet.
Wait, did we land right in front of
powers.
the building we needed?
Yes, one of the power stations.
Nice.
It's right here.
I love when that happens.
Use those scanners to
Well, that's
locate
one down.
the
Man,
power
it
relay.
actually scales.
Clear the gun,
That's crazy.
Turn on the power, and we'll be good to go.
Like, it just knows to drop more wrenches and more, like,
it just
radars.
Use those scanners to locate
it just works.
the power relays.
It just
Clear the gunk,
just do.
turn on the power, and we'll be good to go.
There's still some gunk on this one, or did it get turned on?
Okay, it got turned on.
Clean them off and they'll be useful.
We're 400 meters away from the second.
Anybody else go and pick up that one upgrade mod that allows you to just punch the ground and jump higher?
I do not have that yet.
I have it. It's really inconsistent to use though.
I'm just waiting for the one where on the bruiser, every time you slam, if you press the timing, you can slam again up to like 3 times. So like,
there's one for some reason on bruiser, if you just press P 3 times, you just self-destruct.
Oh yeah, you
Pushing
just
P.
blow yourself up.
Use those scanners to locate
Just gotta push
the
P.
gunked up power relays. Yeah. Clear the gunk, turn on the power.
Pushing P.
We'll be good to go.
Holding the zone.
Hold.
Power stations are all down. Follow the signal.
Hold.
Scanners, get them clear.
Hold. I'm sorry.
Oh, you go. Oh god, that's a bomb.
I see all the green glowy stuff and I'm thinking that it's an enemy.
You know what?
Sorry.
I can't throw it.
Use those scanners to
Oh,
locate
sorry.
the gunked
That's
up
weird.
upload
Oh,
done.
I bumped my mic.
This one is actually company filings. Filings for faster
Sorry about that,
upload.
if anyone heard like a mic slap.
Oh. So, come here.
Uh-oh.
There.
Be afraid.
I got an eco bomb.
Railgun touching down nearby.
What the? Oh.
What about me?
Being afraid?
Aside from Fireball, what's your other favorite thing to go and cast?
I got an eco bomb.
Probably flamethrower?
Probably.
Nuclear missile?
What if...
Nuclear missile.
I was gonna say counterspell, but those are all valid.
What if you could lightning like a Sith?
Like,
Oh, absolutely. I gotta say, that's probably like one of my top
Okay,
choices
Buzz,
whenever
what
I get
are
a
our
chance.
targets? Who are we gonna murder?
Oh, sorry. I'll let you take over, Buzz.
Great. Next step is
I was
to
doing
lock
it,
the
but Buzz
target
is...
on that
Oh, no, that's
terminal
fair.
over
You
there.
called him out. You called him out, so he's doing it now.
Ow.
Not haunted illegal.
So I have a gun with an upgrade.
That's a good group there. Ooh, wah. Yeah. All the Yuka.
Locked and loaded. Sending down some batteries to help things spin towards it.
Not haunted.
All in one piece, please.
Not haunted.
Totally not haunted.
I have never seen that before.
I do not trust that.
That's why we're shooting out of the sky.
I got another Yuka.
Oh no, don't blow up the moon.
We're blowing up the moon. And no one can stop us.
Now we have to protect
Also-
the batteries.
Also, gliders missiles can heal batteries.
Oh, that's very weird. Oh, let's
No,
hit
it's
this group too.
Yeah, there's...
Whoa.
It's intentional because, well,
Did
the
it get him?
gliders basically just nanites repairing the robots, so it makes sense that the metal batteries can also be healed.
Finish firing.
Why won't you die? There we go. And the Swarmer deals way more damage than the shotgun.
Yeah, the shotgun consistently feels weak.
But they really seem to
It's
want you to rely on like the deflection damage, but it's just not what you're going to be focusing on in combat.
It's so hard to aim it.
I mean, I think it bounces off enemies too, though, so...
Aim straighter, dickhead. We got places to be.
Like, I find it does more damage if I light myself on fire first, only because of that mod. But otherwise, the Swarmer seems to be doing more.
Range would be a secondary.
Not enjoying it.
I'm not in control of my situation.
Yeah! Someone will make a soundboard mod for this, I'm sure. Yeah, all the screaming. Just... It's hell
I love
out
it.
there. Rotation speed is 100% so far.
Keeping these batteries alright. Also, is it just me, or are they only dropping 4 instead of 5 now in this?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've only ever seen 4, but... But I also started a lot later than a lot of people.
No, that's alright. Maybe I'm just imagining it.
Yeah.
It's all in your head. You wake up, you
What
miss
else
you.
is new?
Oh no.
I'm not even gonna answer that. Doesn't dignify a comment.
It's like, The best answer is the answer that your head provides.
Yeah, exactly. No, I had a friend who used to kind of bully like that, and we would always just like, Chris, wake up! Wake up, you've been sleeping for years!
Oh, one of those, yeah.
Yeah, one of those things, yeah.
Yeah.
And it would just freak him
so
out every
good.
time.
I've been that friend to do that to a couple people. Just walk by somebody, wake up, you're in a dream.
Maybe... Wait, maybe it actually has to do with, like, latency or something, because I'm shooting through some people with the shotgun and it doesn't seem to be doing damage. Oh, there we go.
Can you one more person?
Huh.
Can you one more person?
Sit back
Yeah.
and watch the fireworks, gang. You earned it.
Get your eyes on
Alright,
Oh,
I'm on
yeah. See, this one's fighting, like, or firing, like, straight up. See, that would be a problem.
Alright, goodbye, everybody.
Also, don't hit that skyscraper. Are you going
Trying to
into
wall run.
space?
Yes.
I'm going to the moon!
I hate to tell you, you didn't go very high.
I didn't go very high, you're right. I was trying to Billy Goat it.
Oh yeah, suit. If you want an achievement, you just have to swing around the pole with the
ladies and
whole
gentlemen,
energy without hitting anything.
Oh,
That's
yeah!
actually terrible. Tons of space junk are about to rain death on you guys.
Yeah, I got it.
Nice.
Immediately.
It's raining death on us. Okay, I guess I'll call a drop pod. What could possibly go wrong?
That's all listed tasks done and buried. Good work. Hold that for
What could possibly go? Oh god!
What could possibly go wrong?
Oh god! I do like how it actually does think about the fact that you just shot down a space station right above your current location.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome. It's like it makes logical sense, and it's just a wicked awesome way to cap off the mission.
I don't like this low gravity, dude.
Why do they keep placing space stations on this planet? They keep blowing them up.
That's true. Why does every competitor to Saxon keep blowing up around this planet?
I wonder.
You know,
Oh,
these
why
are
do I have, like, no
questions
ammo?
at night.
Uh-oh.
Questions for the ages.
I think it's just cheaper.
Whose car this is, but I stole it.
Your house
That's
would
fine,
be
but
nice.
I'm not gonna use that.
There's a bold with a license.
I know it's Jason, I'm sorry.
There's no license,
one
there's
has
no
no license.
force.
Both bolts have a license.
Oh,
A
God.
kobold
That
with
barrel
a
blew up a
driving
lot
license
faster than
sounds
I
like an
thought.
oxymoron.
That's very kobold of you to say, Tweet.
I'm gobbling up these jokes.
You can keep me broken.
I'm gonna repair you right out of this asteroid.
No!
Don't worry.
Also, thank you!
You know what? I'll hold up on my fun.
You don't want to punish us too much?
I mean, it's like you said, Tweet, we're just fun guy.
Oh, ow.
Workplace incident.
Workplace incident.
Like this wall you built.
Place incident.
We're just.
Oh, speaking of.
Oh, I think I'm gonna die from collateral.
God.
Come down.
Thank you. You're down, but you're not out. For another 9 seconds. For another 5 seconds. For another 4 seconds.
Just getting bonus points.
Oh my bubble.
I don't have
Did I just launch someone into the thing?
Yes.
Upgrade called the Lord.
Ah!
Oh, no. I wanted that bird.
Excellent.
Don't piss me off.
The slams are quite effective.
Yeah.
I collected 0. What? I did collect the resources, though. How does that make any sense?
Ooh, Saxonite. I got one.
Weird. Bad knees. Oh.
69 seconds sliding. Nice.
Yeah. Oh, there's some extra Yuko.
Whoosh.
Oh.
Alright. What's fun? I'll talk to y'all later. See you guys.
Yeah, no problem.
night,
Thanks for hanging out. Good night.
Fun hanging out with you.
I'm gonna swap out the shotgun for the plate launcher.
Welcome
Give it a shot.
to the master race.
Yeah.
One day I'll have the plate launcher. One day.
Oh, it has no unlocks for it whatsoever. Okay, that's fine. Wait, it sucks it back?
One day.
What the heck? That's not what I expected.
Firmly planted.
Oh, so the normal version of the plate launcher, it just goes into an enemy and then you pull it back? Huh.
Yeah. So the normal version, you launch like one at a time, right?
Yeah.
And then you can get an upgrade for it called salad plates that shrinks to size.
Oh, you can use it as platforms, though.
Yeah, it is honestly the most versatile weapon and one of the funnest things to go and break in a game.
Oh, and where's Broa? There we are. Okay. Yeah, Broa.
Wait, what?
I'm standing on the platform that's attached to you. Oh God!
Yeah.
How did it eat me like that?
So, okay, so look at the size of yours.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Fire one off.
You got big platforms.
You get used to it. Now hold up. Ow. What are you there for?
So I can stand on you again.
Okay, hold up. Wait a minute.
Hold on. I gotta see if I can stand on Hrist while they're driving around.
I'm gonna try to break out of the ship.
Wait, is there a race course down there? Oh,
there is.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. Oh, John. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, there's a race course down there.
There was a pedestrian on the road.
Hey,
nerd.
I may have run someone over.
I was on my little slider thing and the thing just randomly exploded.
Apparently the car doesn't take damage from the slider thing, but the slider thing takes full damage from the car.
Well, it is just like a little push car.
Yeah.
You just hit with a car.
I was so confused. I was like, what? Why did I explode?
Yeah, no, I drove down the track and it just like, bam. Oh God.
I got some stuck. Hang on.
Hello.
Oh my God.
I wasn't doing anything, I swear. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Hey, just making the hub spin around the planet.
Oh, that's a little disorienting. Driving toward the window.
You can break out of the ship with this thing.
Oh.
Yep, it's really great.
Man, this is a long track. Holy cow.
I gotta get to the right spot though. It's down
It is a long track.
in the track.
Hello, Genie.
I find it funny that
spots.
How's
I
it
find it-
going?
it's so funny that Rocher built himself a raceway in the auxiliary storage of this place.
Ow. I hit a wall.
If I can get this thing to stop spinning for a second. Let me drive.
Go.
What is spin relative to us?
Wait, that's a pipe.
Oh
God.
Go.
Why is it
Go.
that I keep
I
getting the
died.
goblin? Get over here.
I couldn't get in the pipe. It wouldn't let me.
Goblin bomb diffused. Lucky.
Eh.
Break out.
Never mind.
Ow. My face. Thank
you.
Well, guess I'll steal this.
Okay, I guess I'll steal this one.
Wait, what? Oh, is that mine?
Yeah. Yeah, you stole my car. I stole yours.
Oh, you want to trade?
Aren't they the same car?
That one's cooler color.
What? Aren't they the same car?
Perhaps.
Mayhaps. Oh, wait, it goes into the test track or the training area?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it ends at the training area. That's like your finish line.
Ow.
I think I'm going in the wrong direction.
I got a ball.
I think I'm going in the wrong direction.
It's a little hard as hell.
Yep, I'm going the wrong
Oh yeah, have you gone to the volunteer torture chamber?
Almost
Volunteer torture chamber? Okay, no, I have not.
Yeah, over here.
Interesting.
Here, let me give you your legs, man.
Sorry, the voluntary trauma chamber. It's a trauma chamber. But yeah, it's just a room full of these.
What?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I made it to the spot.
Okay, I'm done.
Well, you can just take a bunch of damage in here. With
Upgrading.
the pre-patch high ground,
I didn't break out.
Actually, I'll be right
Bro
back.
was able to just stand in gear for like 5 minutes straight, and was still fine.
I didn't feel anything.
But that was pre-patch.
Yeah. Oh, so Tweak, your plate launcher now versus mine?
Oh, was it actually like some sort of weird?
Yeah. So, launch a plate.
I'm out of ammo.
Oh.
Well, you can always get some more.
I plate launched too hard.
Okay.
It happens to the best of them.
My one weakness: laser swords.
I can't wait to abuse this.
Oh, here we go.
Looks pretty funny.
Oh, there we go. I'm on the ship.
Oh, yeah?
I'm now plummeting towards the planet.
So,
Nice.
one.
I found
Where'd you
a
go?
spell in
I see him falling down. Your
LVL
attack's going.
unmimic.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's not fair.
Goodbye. We'll see you down there.
There we go.
All right, hold up.
Alright, hon, I'll be joining you very soon.
So, plates off.
Although I'll be coming from a different end.
Yes.
That looks
The
very
funny thing
strange.
is, as long as you stay on the cart, you don't die. You just kind of keep falling forever.
Yeah, you just perpetually drop.
There we go. So, tungsten cube.
Oh, that's a huge
Falling to the
plate.
planet.
The
Oh, what
huge
happened?
cube.
Oh god.
Ow.
Oh wait, hold on. That's a cool idea. If I stand on the plate and then recall it, what happens? Oh. Oh, someone exploded.
Oh no.
Suit, you exploded.
Who could have done that? Who could have done such a horrible thing to Suit?
Who done it?
Oh, can we take the car on the mission? Hold on a second.
How do you do, Wings? Say,
You can,
taking a
actually.
shot at the big screen?
And I did a safety training
Let it run.
I'm stuck in the ceiling.
They take flying bots like yourself and house them in a big middle facade. Looks like the real thing.
You're grounded.
Oh god, my one weakness.
really dangerous.
Being grounded.
You can take the car on the mission, but it'll force you out of it briefly. You have to get back in it. Like,
Oh god, how did that? I was going like 0 miles an hour when I hit you there. How does that?
I don't know, man.
I pulled out. That might have helped.
Yay! We made.
There
we
you go.
Kind of made it. Got it there. Okay, I gotta fix. I ran. Wait. Oh, you're inside the thing.
I'm still following.
You still falling?
Get in there, car.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
2 cars.
All right. Remember,
Just like
everybody,
at the
vehicles are
very
tools, not toys.
Once you get down to the window area, like, just drive as fast as you can and ram one of the sides of it. You just go through.
Oh, we gotta pick a mission. What haven't we haven't done the hijacking the core yet?
Almost.
Oh, like the actual prize possession? Yeah, we haven't done that.
Prize possession.
Let's do this shit.
Danger close.
Oh, yeah.
Danger close. Need backup. Hello.
I'm ready to take the cars on a mission. I hope this works.
You have to get in the car or else you'll respawn.
Oh, okay. So we need some volunteers to drive the cars.
Like you gotta hop in like during the load. Or like,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Or it'll force you out of it briefly.
Okay. Well,
It's
goodbye,
weird.
everybody.
Oh my god.
I'm ready.
Someone get in here and stay.
This might be an occupational hazard.
What? Nah. We definitely won't accidentally run into people and kill them.
Perhaps.
You know what?
Cassius is in a very dangerous spot right now, though. They're between two cars that could actively move either way.
Oh, I'm here. I'm here now.
Oh, I'm here. Yeah, I'm
He's
here
not
too.
letting me back in.
I was in space, and now I'm here.
We got one car.
Nice. That's good. Yeah, I wasn't able to get into the other one, so I couldn't save it.
Times. I was out in space.
Mission time.
Okay, here we go. Look out, everybody. Car come
Car.
through. Well, that was anticlimactic.
What's the melee button? Hang on. Hang on. Get it out of the...
Machinery of a low-bearing variety.
I got one of those...
Yay!
I got one of those little carts out here before, too.
Oh my god.
Oh, really? How?
Same way. Same way as
Definitely the hard way to
Same
put the
way?
card on.
Oh my god, we should get the two cars.
Yeah, that would be funny
They
as
are
fuck.
impossible to drive out here.
Oh, there's Yuko right here.
I am, doesn't mean I'm not gonna try.
Got a Yuko bomb. Find me an enemy.
I got a Yuko bomb. Don't forget to grab the Yuko bomb. There's one down here, too. Another Yuko bomb.
Oh.
No
You want to
enemies?
grab another one?
Yes.
This one? Yeah, do they not spawn till we get to the door on this one?
No, they're supposed to be.
Every time you start shooting the wall.
Oh. Oh wait, you already started shooting the wall. That is
there
weird.
not
We're
supposed to
in.
be enemies here? I don't see any enemies.
There's
Yeah.
none.
There's some behind me.
Oh, there's a couple in here.
They're coming now.
Wait,
Oh, they're
in
coming
case.
now.
Oh, okay, yeah, here they come. What the heck? That was weird. They're just very
Maybe the game just needed a
delayed.
minute.
Yeah. Maybe the car thing worked it a little bit.
Oh heavens, imagine.
Oh, we
I
need two
don't
other
think
people
it
here.
Hang on.
I got more Yuko.
Alright. Yeah, I got a Yuko bomb here, too. I'm waiting for more to show up.
Going inside with a Yuko
Actually, it
bomb.
makes life so much easier. With people trying to go for the Yukos, oh my gosh.
Yeah, isn't it great?
You keep killing them. I'm trying to gather up a bunch of them. You keep killing them.
Are there any dudes in here, Philbo? Any,
Yes.
Any
Well,
Yuko
just us two.
Oh.
That was the wrong button.
There were, but
I
we
see.
dispatched them.
I went to throw the Yuko bomb. I threw it.
I see. We need one more person to hold the keys.
We do.
I was looking
On
for
the
their
way.
Yuko bomb.
Can someone come over here?
I'm on the way.
Thank you.
On the
Oh,
way.
Cassius is here.
Oh, Cassius
Cassius is
also.
here. He can help us.
On the way. I still
But we
have
may need
Yuko.
some help getting this power cell. Alright, that should be good.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Cut through and
Oh, I'm gonna Yuko these ones over here.
double time that thing back to the drop pod. Our mushy
Where'd they-
friends aren't letting it go without a fight.
Oh,
They never.
they never spawned. What the heck?
They decided no.
Something's gone weird.
No.
If the next mission works normally, I'm gonna say it's probably because of the card. That's something weird.
Maybe.
I don't think the
Possibly.
card affects it. But
It's not supposed to. Alright,
No,
I don't
there's
think.
a whole bunch of. Oh!
Oh, they're just
I've-
outside. Okay.
kind of wasted that Yuko bomb.
Rolling.
And I'm dead.
I got like 3 Yuko out of it. That's not bad.
I got the legs.
I had the head.
And I'll form the torso.
And we'll be.
Nobody's saying anything about
Megabot.
forming anything.
What is this Voltron
Wait.
combination I'm hearing?
Ciptron?
Stiftron. Gobtron.
Gobtron.
It's
Alright, my
entirely
hopes are down.
theoretical.
You motherfucker. Get this bitch. Get this bitch. Yeah, he stole the power unit. That's why I was mad.
Come on, you little rascal.
Let's get this out of here.
So it did have a 5th color, but then it started rotating the first 4 player colors. So I guess there's only 5 colors in the.
Oh.
Which is interesting because it's a 4-player game.
Yeah, well, they never intended it to be any more than 4 players, I guess. So
Yeah.
the fact that we got a 5th one is the 5th color is pretty interesting.
I did see them post that they were like super excited that people already made a more player mod for this game though.
Oh, that's
Oh,
great.
really?
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, you gotta love devs that support modding.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh shoot, the
I
power
love
core's
whenever
in.
a good game like this comes
30
out.
seconds.
It doesn't take long for modders to hop on it for increased players.
We got 30 seconds
Oh, yeah.
to get to the pod. Good luck, everybody else.
I'm trying!
13 seconds.
Oh, they're already
8
here.
seconds.
I'm so far away.
9 seconds. Yeah, I forgot this mission, like, as soon as it gets to the pod, you got, like, oh, no time to get back.
It really doesn't give you much time at all.
Alright, I'm here.
Nice.
What just happened? What just happened?
Well, guess I'm dead.
I slammed the pod.
How could you? Those are our teammates.
It was for the greater good.
For the greater good, of course. Yes, yes.
The pod was too heavy and we couldn't reach orbital rotation. It was built for 4 players.
It's true. It was totally designed for only 4 of us.
Wait, Kobold Rot found Quack?
Quack.
It's probably his skin.
Yep, actually, look, I have it on right now. Look.
It's lethargic.
Huh.
What?
Quack.
Oh.
Quack.
Oh, that sounds good. I don't know if I can fit that anywhere, though.
Mighty don't.
What is happening? Sounds fantastic.
Take down the non-believer!
No. The murder.
Wait.
Murder.
I lost.
That feels good.
So how am I gonna fit the with me back in there?
Yes.
I wish I could rotate stuff. It would make this a lot easier.
You know.
You mentioned later you can, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Level 30. Player level 30, you can.
Ah.
Which the fastest way to get to that is just by playing different characters.
Oh yeah.
Diminishing returns for every character as they get higher level.
Yeah, no, that
okay.
makes sense.
That's just good to know.
There, I fit it in. Okay.
That's how I'm able to have this fuck-ass revolver.
Oh yeah, I should probably upgrade more weapons.
Yeah.
You know what?
Why are we talking about the Spinal Frontier Corporation?
Doing a quick team assessment. Can you swim?
No. I just walk along the
Sounds fascinating, though. I'd like to learn more about it.
Yeah, like a white and blue.
Much easier to hit you if you're pedaling around like an idiot.
I have a checkerboard for my plate launcher.
If you do it for fun, I don't want anything to do with it.
Oh, I see. You can force an undiscovered one. Oh, I see. I see how that works. I understand. Oh, I just unlocked the overtime assignment. That must mean I hit level 12. Okay. Let me try another character.
Let's try the overtime assignment. It's fucked this week.
Oh.
Is it real bad?
It's regular Rampage.
One of the modifiers is no revives. If everyone dies, we're done. We have a time limit, and if the time limit expires, we lose passive health regeneration.
You guys are so lucky you can't throw.
More enemies constantly spawn in. Abominations are more likely to spawn. Enemies leave acid puddles upon death. Yeah, and there's also
sounds
fog.
like hell.
Did we mention the abomination spawning more frequently?
Oh, does anyone want to see the eyeball?
Okay.
There's the eyeball.
Eyeball?
Eyeball.
Yes.
And I can go like go over there, eyeball.
Stupid eye.
And I can like go over there.
Eyeball. Yeah, nice. I like your eyeball. Wee. That is a very fun eyeball.
Let's go. My people need me. Wait, I just unlocked the trident.
Yep.
I think this might be your gun.
Oh yeah, what is that one?
So,
I don't know because a lot of the upgrades to the Trident are kind of
horizontal.
Like a lot of the like a lot of the upgrades are very circumstantial.
Burner in the galaxy. But Namco has really done.
Who platformed me?
Get ready for your next hot date.
Is there any way to turn the platforms? Probably not.
Not really.
You can interact with them to detach them. That's it.
Wee eyeball. I figured I'd join Hrist and be the scrapper for one of them. See what happens.
Val.
Yes.
Val.
Yes.
Oh my god, that overtime assignment is insane.
It is.
Okay, fine. Let's give it a shot. Overtime.
If you want to.
I live.
You and our funeral.
It's only
What is it?
1,000% increased experience for how difficult it is.
True.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Abominations spawn more
I need to
frequently.
switch
Mission
to,
is timed. As the timer runs out, people will no longer regenerate health. No team revives at all. Enemies constantly spawn. Area is covered in fog. Enemies leave behind acid when they die.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, great.
Yeah, but however, though,
It sounds like all hell.
Yeah.
Good news, because of the horde modifier, apparently it actually lessens the amount of abominations that spawn because the enemies end up having higher weight and spawn rate than the abominations.
Interesting.
They still do spawn quite a bit though, just not as often as normal.
Okay, let's go. I'm not expecting this one to go well, but
Wait.
Me neither.
Me.
you made it.
Yay!
I was gonna try to get the card in there, but I guess not.
You are
No
now
car
a
for you.
platform.
No card.
Well, hey there, bro. How you doing?
Yeah, that's just plain unkind.
Guess what?
Why was your crotch exploding?
The fuck is on my face?
We don't ask these questions on stream, okay?
Okay, fair enough.
I need adult.
Mimic the Mimic. That's a good one. I like that one.
Alright, we got simple weed whacking duty today.
Simple weed whacking duty.
In the population a bit.
Oh,
Two things until they're dead.
We got 9 minutes to win the mission.
Oh, hey, I found the door right here.
Yeah, but we don't immediately die though, thankfully. It's just no more health regeneration.
Oh, okay.
Starting off with a bang.
If we win it, though, it's 1,000% increased experience.
Yeah.
Laser Abomination has got the shield.
I
God, I was not taking
believe
it seriously.
that we have a 2% chance of victory.
I think we can do it.
Sounds alright.
I'll take those odds.
I stay back here and don't panic. You're fine.
Yep.
Don't panic. I'm not panicking. Are you panicking? Stop panicking. Ah!
Well, we're doomed.
Look at that. Easy. Easy.
We're at 15%. Optional, bring the laptop back. Oh, I guess we can do that at the end too.
Yeah.
Try not to hit anybody because apparently my cycler can do a lot of friendly fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Boom shakalaka.
Okay.
Sometimes you just gotta boom shakalaka.
Sometimes you gotta boom shakalaka, I agree, but I try not to get my friend crosshairs at that.
Friendly fire is in fact not friendly.
Kind of ironic, isn't it?
Yeah, I never got that.
It's kind of funny because there is some upgrades in this game to make certain weapons actually truly friendly fire.
Yeah, no, that's
Oh, word.
Oh yeah, like my laser heals.
Oh, that's cool.
My grenades heal too.
I know my slam grants invulnerability for a short time.
First heal enemies.
Oh
I
god.
was gonna say my grenades heal, but they only heal me, so sorry. No one else joins on the benefit.
Hey, look at all this space porn on the
Look at all this
stuff.
murder.
That's a lot of abominations.
Sure is.
Oh god.
I don't know how this is happening, but it is.
Like it's working to some degree.
Yeah.
We're doing something right.
We did the classic Helldivers method. We threw so many bodies at it that now we have a chance.
Yeah. If these pixies keep on the abominations, we won't. So gotta take care of them.
Yeah, they're generating real fast.
Oh god, it's the third abomination.
Oh.
I missed.
Trying to get rid of that acid cannon. Nasty business. No, you don't get that flamethrower either.
Don't piss me off. Try it again, you punk. Try it again.
Hail Mary it.
Oh god, there's so many dudes.
Oh god.
So what was that about abominations not spawning as frequently?
No, it's a lot worse than this, trust me.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh god, it's going nuclear. Oh god, that one's also going nuclear.
Oh no.
Yeah, it might set off a chain reaction.
Oh god, that one's also going nuclear.
Oh, it's keeping track of our score apparently.
Yeah.
That's new.
Oh, also in David Goliath, they're also the abominations. They only have a limited 10 upgrades. They nerfed it some time ago. Used to the infinite. So as long as you stay making abominations, you can get like farm infinite upgrades.
Yeah, I do like farming upgrades.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I do like my upgrades.
Who don't
Not
like
sure I
upgrades?
entirely agree with it because, like, if you're doing good enough to stay alive that long in a mission, you kind of deserve it.
I see what you're saying.
Woo!
Okay, that's enough killing.
Wow, look at that. We're done already.
Oh, nice!
Get back up here.
This one already called?
That is... I don't know.
Okay, I wanted to call it by the laptop just to make it easier to get that thing out of here.
Yeah. Throw it inside of the pot, and then we should be able to get the resources from the reward.
Yeah.
And once the laptop's in the pod, you can just throw it out the window and it's fine.
Oh,
yeah.
Huh. Where is that leg piece going?
What does this folder say? File on this thing called homework.
Oh, that's fine. Just don't look at the one that says extra.
Yeah, extra credit.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of upgrades from that one enemy.
Yeah, damn, dude. Amethyst, iridescent. I got some new skins.
Oh, Amethyst, that's actually a rare skin.
I'm
Nice.
popping in the pod.
That's actually a very rare modifier for skin.
Frantic fingers.
Cool. I'm happy I got it then.
You can make it, bro, I believe.
Nice.
Oh, wait, someone exploded out there.
Uh-oh.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Rest.
Oh, their shield deflected it behind my shield.
Here we go. We gotta go.
I do not like that.
We gotta go!
I made it!
Ow, I was zoomed out. Get ready for the big one.
Whoa! Whoa, the hell is real? And we're gone. Nope, that was just things exploding. I thought we took off.
Bro, Source, you're not in.
Yeah, we did.
Nice!
Complete a mission with at
That
least
wasn't
4
so
active
bad.
modifiers. Ooh, compressed
That wasn't
plate
so bad.
storage. Exotic plate launcher.
What?
Yeah.
I got compressed plate storage for the plate launcher.
I don't know if I have that one.
Compressed plates, that's very
Breeding
good.
season?
You basically get... Yeah.
What? What?
You got a skin called Breeding Season.
Breeding season, right on.
Oh, that might be the swarm launcher upgrade breeding season. Because I have that one.
Oh my god.
It's really good. It makes it so anyone else that has a swarm launcher equipped, they fire bullets out of them when you fire bullets.
That's funny as shit.
It's so good.
Doing? Asshole.
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 I got BC up. Damn it.
I am.
I got a rock.
I got things. I don't know. I got a bunch of things.
Magazine size increased. Ooh, do I want to do that?
Ooh, create an elemental explosion at your position the first time you use your grapple pole. Ooh.
Huh. Magazine size increased for each use upgrade. Oh yeah, I wanted to try that.
Wait for a second, be right back.
One Mississippi.
Come to Papa, my little shelled beauty.
Oh, it slightly doesn't fit because hold on, I'm gonna move you up.
Over here.
30 extra bullets. Okay, I can probably get better than that somehow. Okay, maybe not.
What the fuck?
New upgrades. Yeah, I want to check out that stuff for the plate launcher. That sounds... Oh, also that scrapped fuel thing for Scrapper is the worst thing I've ever used in my life.
What was it? What did it do?
It makes your jetpack 100% uncontrollable. It just shoots you in random directions, but it shoots you really fast in random directions.
I kind of love that though.
That's amazing.
Hey, Crispy!
Okay, so the plate launcher now shoots 4 plates at once.
Oh.
I wish it had a better description because I at first thought it meant like, oh, it's gonna be a shotgun.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It was not a shotgun.
Oh my god, this gun is super golden with the skin.
That's wicked.
Interesting.
Check out the bling on this.
There's so many upgrades. Okay. What the flippin' it?
Sorry, not my bling. His bling.
Explode.
Over yonder.
He's got bling.
As Wrangler, get last hit on abomination shells. That's still probably the easiest one. Huh. I don't know why it wasn't counting anything. Okay. Let's see, what do we have? This one has modifiers. What are these? Normal damage applies acid to you. Enemies constantly spawn.
Calm your asses down. I'm right here.
This seems fine, right?
Yeah, totally fine.
Thank you so much. Here's a treat for you.
It's another planetary defense, but it's got the extra modifier. So normal damage applies corrosive to you. So does that mean if we hit enemies with normal damage, or their normal damage does acid?
Yeah, if they hit us, we take corrosive damage.
I didn't do it.
Ammo request later because I'm taking it out of your pay.
I tried.
That was an insane lag spike.
What the fuck is happening?
Nothing.
Oh my god, Tweet, what happened to you?
Maybe just a
Nothing.
flamethrower or something in case one of those crawlers.
It was all Harist. Harist murdered me.
What happened?
What happened?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about a thing.
I'm down. Please assist.
Piss off.
Hello.
Oh, damn it.
Whoa.
Don't mind me, I'm just
Whoa, what is the...
What the fuck?
Why are the legs flying around like that? That was weird.
What the fuck?
Your legs were going like from the front of the ship to the back of the ship to the front of the ship.
That was me.
Oh, was it? Oh.
I have no idea what's going on.
We're gonna shoot a satellite on threat level 6 with acid damage being done to us.
Let's shoot things till they're dead.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Rip.
Until it's done.
Rip and tear till it's done. That's right. I'm trying to get this damn radio in here, but it keeps throwing me all across the ends of the hub. Physics, please. Physics, please.
Physics is fake. It
Yeah,
ain't
apparently.
real.
Poacher, make a noise or something.
Hey,
Ah!
oh, well,
Ah!
oh, okay.
Come here, Roaches.
I guess it's up there.
Over here.
That's fine.
It's in, technically.
It's in.
Hey, Roach man, are you
Oh
taking
no!
this shit?
Chris, where are you going?
It's floating away.
Shut up.
I'm sure they're fine.
Money.
Just grab onto the pod on the way by.
Sector 82. Just try to find anyone closer to you.
Oh wow, I just realized my sword launcher now has a 55 round magazine. That's pretty good.
Assistance required.
Dang it.
Hello.
So we both got
welcome
breeding
back.
season.
Yes.
Aw, yeah.
Howdy.
Aw, yeah.
Boom.
Check your senses. I'm with
Hey.
you.
Today,
High five.
some portion of the planet's defenses is available in
Oh, there's a pumpkin.
unID'd shipped to pieces.
Pumpkin.
Ken.
Spooky Halloween time.
Cargo pod is inbound to your location.
Pumpkin season couldn't come sooner.
Oh.
Please.
Yeah.
I am white girl for pumpkin spice.
Use those scanners to locate
I want
the power relay.
this soup season for me, and I am so ready for soup.
We'll be good to go.
Same. God, I could go for some soup right now, actually.
Oh yeah.
Scanners to locate the gunked up power relay.
Soup and like Tweak makes really good chili, and I always look forward to that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, chili.
Oh,
Spicy and
See
yet
ya.
mapley sweet. at
Like
the same
actually
time.
like warm soups and stews for like a cold
Yeah.
season.
Try to-
So-
Oh, that's a
so
lot of
Oh yeah,
Right
we make so much, and like
I loved it.
Oh, chili. Oh,
Oh,
chili.
dear. Oh,
I'm
God.
sorry.
So good.
Oh, God.
Signals with those
Oh,
scanners
gumbo?
get clear.
Like a good gumbo too? Ah.
Oh, you're killing me.
just want the
Is
cool weather.
Is it bad that I already want more content for this game?
Oh man, I so do.
Yeah.
This has just been
I want
straight
more.
up fun.
Give
Just
me more.
Use those scanners to locate the gunked up power
some
relay.
good shooty shoots. That's all I need.
Turn on the power, and we'll be good to go.
God, it's so much more fun now that I'm not. Like, I don't know. Like, it was so bright before that it was like actually.
Well, that makes
stretching
sense. I didn't know you were dealing with like brightness issues. I'm glad you got it fixed.
I didn't know either. I knew. Well, I knew it was like a lot of information overload for you, but I didn't know.
That's
out. It is very, very much the brightness.
That's something I've heard people talk about with Void
The
Crew
Void
too.
Crew?
Like they needed mods to like tone down the bloom and brightness.
I
in that
never
game.
really got the brightness thing in that.
I didn't until I tried the mod, and I was like, oh, I see.
I never had that.
Yeah.
I never had that problem in Void Crew.
I can see it.
I
'Cause
didn't.
it's not like
Maybe it
a.
depends on the computer, like the monitor.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not like a brightness where like I can't see. It's more of a brightness where it just like overloads my senses in a way. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get that
makes
for
sense.
sure.
Because I was trying to understand what you meant by like the whole like overload of that. So
Oh yeah.
What?
In the.
Sorry, no, I found an Atlas oyster.
Oh. And your brain shut off for a second.
Yeah, no, like because those are usually not like in the game.
Oh, it just rebooted for half a second. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Things are happening.
All right, what big gun we get? All right, Tweak, I got a gun for you, bud.
Another gun?
Yeah.
Where do you keep getting all these guns from?
Don't worry about it.
I worry about everything.
Nice.
The Keiju keeps finding guns.
All right,
They can't
put me
be
down.
stopped.
Okay. Platforms?
Ooh, very nice. I approve. Looks good. Nice graffiti.
Thank you. Where's your head? I need to reconnect. What is this? Oh man, why did you die in like the sexy pose?
I mean, you not
It's so
love
sexy.
Okay, what is it? What is this gun?
of my legs.
Oh, it looks like it charges. It looks like it charges for something.
All right, it's set up. Now use that terminal to target the rogue ship.
I see. We got meteorite chunks to collect.
I see.
But the truthfully answer your question though, I have a grenade mod that makes it to where when I toss it down, it'll spawn a heavy weapon.
Oh, what the heck? That's funny.
You hit me with the meteorite and it applies corrosive to me.
Oh god.
Yeah, no,
I got
I
spooted.
also have another mod that makes it to where whenever I take corrosion, I also charge my grenade faster.
I'm gonna try getting some of these on the. Oh,
Find an enemy.
So what I tend to go and do is I'll toss my grenade down at my feet, stand in the steak fumes there,
Oh
and
god.
just breathe deeply.
What the heck is that thing? What was that?
I don't know.
Why did I see eyeballs all around me and then
I don't know.
that was cursed.
You know what?
That appears to be all of it. Out and down the chunks for processing and wire you the money.
Nice. I love money.
Money.
We're rich.
Money. Loads of money.
Loads of money.
Cheers, figures.
Oh. There's a gun on the ground. I need to shoot it so they don't get that gun.
Yeah, they're
Okay,
not
let's
allowed
see.
to gun.
Where are we targeting? Okay, space to ping. Okay, it's just space so far. Oh, there's the LC collector. They're verified. They have a smiley face. There's Ken's signage, definitely verified. Oh, it's arts and crafts. That's illegal.
Arts and crafts. How
Arts and
dare
crafts.
they?
Illegal.
Make sure that
Gotta shoot down all the arts and crafts.
Yeah, they're definitely not allowed in this sector. All right, we're starting.
keep them off it so we can finish firing.
Okay, I suppose we can.
I'm still a little sad.
Go to arts and crafts.
I missed the high ground.
Aww. I know you were having so much fun.
Should I make? Maybe I should make that an overclock in DRG.
Yeah, there you go. But
Just
gotta
for Broa.
give you
Just for
invulnerability.
We'll call it Kaiju ground.
Oh, there we go.
Yes, excellent.
Everything.
He'll be to honor you in the high ground.
Oh, gee,
Wow.
whoa!
I'm taking it out of here.
I exploded.
You can see that.
Better be how it works.
Oh, it does that eyeball thing again.
Better be how it works.
Why when I get picked up do I make eyeballs?
I think that's a mod.
Oh, thank you. I don't know what that was, but
Oh.
it keeps healing me, so I'll take it.
I keep exploding.
Stop that.
Hey, stop it. That's not
Oh
worse.
gosh, did someone's? I think someone's body just flew over me.
No, I picked
That's
you
like
up.
my favorite thing in this game is how
Warn me
that
the
can
first
just
time.
happen.
Yeah.
You find like someone's like other half just across the stage.
Yeah, they can go pretty far, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big
What
one
is the
over there.
eyeball thing?
You do so much fun with robots. It's like Repo where you can just have the heads.
Yeah.
Oh, did I launch it in the air? Haha.
Yeah, I wanted to do Repo again, and then Pete came out, and
He really did throw him.
I really do enjoy Repo, and I do want to play it again. There's just been so many distractions.
I would too if I had like.
I'd love to play more Rico. Honestly.
It was genuinely fun. I had a good time.
It is really fun.
For the
Oh
hour,
yeah.
so.
Ah, they're breaking our batteries.
Oh.
There we go.
Well, we don't need them right now, so we're good.
Hello.
Oh, this is a big abomination right there.
Yeah, you guys got this. Don't worry.
Don't worry, I got someone's pants.
No!
One key each, gang. Turn them all at once. Go.
I think it's Broa's pants. Based on the size and shape.
What size? What shape are we looking at?
What? The pants, clearly.
Oh, all right, the panty pants.
The pants on your legs. The pants.
Pants that weren't specifically defined by your legs.
I think I repaired someone as I died.
Those pants.
Right.
The pansy shape. That pansy's pants.
Pansiest.
Yeah. You know Mr. Fancy Pants. That was a good game, right?
Yeah, and I know the song, not the game.
Oh yeah, there was also a song, right? Huh. We need everyone to turn keys, don't we? Okay, I'm heading for the keys. Okay, I'm turning a key.
I'm positioned in the cannon.
Oh!
You're in the cannon. Nice.
We need 2 more.
I see you in there, Val.
Oh, you're doing what I did.
Oh, you can shoot while you're turning a key? That's cool.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I'm morbidly curious.
Hey,
bro, you join us?
We still need 2 more people for keys.
We need 4 people out there. Oh, we still have 4 out there.
There's 4 people out there.
3?
Yeah, there's plenty.
We got enough people out there.
Yeah.
What the fuck, bro?
Come on.
Yeah. Okay.
There it goes.
I'm gonna ride this beam all the way to victory.
May I join you?
You're gonna go do some arts and crafts?
Cannon.
Yeah, we're joining them with the arts and crafts section.
I can't believe we're terminating arts and crafts.
I'm gonna cry.
Arts and crafts are finally deleted.
I'm gonna make a paper mache
I'm gonna try and stay strong.
Are all your parts in the cannon?
Yes.
You can't even get to him. Or I can't.
Amazing.
I love it.
Am I constantly just shooting little
I love
swarmlets out there?
I see it, yeah.
A rainbow of body parts.
Did it work?
I love causing problems. Also, I see my hand in spectator mode. That's weird.
Where's the rest of this person? Oh,
me.
Okay.
I think they were outside, but that was strange.
That was strange.
I was in many places at once.
Whoa.
It was an ephemeral experience.
Ready
Oh,
to
that-
leave? You
oh,
just
that-
told us to leave. What are you doing?
That laser just keeps going.
Woo! Ow, I got hit by a meteor while grappling midair.
It's like there's like a... Yes. Drop.
This battery's broken, I better fix it.
Wow.
No, we don't need the battery anymore.
Listen, I believe in making sure that if we're gonna go to a place, we gotta keep it tidy.
If
That
we're
includes ECU's batteries.
if we're doing the assault, then Broa can do the battery.
Alright, that's fair. You know what? You can do that.
Alright. You crack my knuckles and then ugly cry from it.
Oh. Oh, there's one of the invulnerability. He's called them fairies?
Yeah, pixies.
Pixie, thank you.
But yeah, they just make anything invulnerable that they get that pink beam on.
I was thinking like Zelda fairy.
Yeah,
Yeah, they can even do it to each other, which is
Yeah.
something that where they don't even do anything, but
You just can't kill them. It's so cancerous.
There's so many.
I mean, I'm gonna be real though, but like that's actually kind of a really brilliant strategy.
Yeah. Smart gameplay, not fair whatsoever.
No, it's not. But, you know, you had those blue
The
medics.
last 2 things you had to kill are just 2 pixies loving each other.
They used to be able to do that. Actually, Swiss would be able to test this too. They used to be able to do that in Orcs Must Die Unchained. Oh, hold on, there's a Yucca bomb right here.
Yucca?
Orcs Must Die Unchained, where you used to have the healing bats able to infinitely heal each other.
Oh, come
Why did I
on!
die? Why did I die?
Yeah, I just died too!
I'm sorry about
Confused! Confused screaming!
I don't think it worked. Well, this is really unfortunate. I'm gonna repair this battery.
tell me if
Don't mind
Pixie
me.
killed me.
18 seconds.
Oh shit!
Oh, I died.
Oh shit! Oh,
No.
No, not on my watch.
Y'all can make it, I believe. Oh, God.
Oh! Lift off!
Yay.
What if we all jump at what happens?
Right now?
Yeah.
Oh, nothing
Everyone jump
happens.
out.
I think that's actually my last game. My eyeballs are.
No, that's fair.
That is fine. Yeah, no, thanks for
Yay.
joining.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you, bro. It was awesome.
This has been a lot of fun.
launcher upgrade.
Have a good night, bro.
Oh, go more criminal!
Give my eyeballs a break from Mycopunk.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah, this game's so fun.
Ooh, two
There's a
Atlas
lot of
oysters.
that. Well, because I learned about this game because of Chris. And now here we are.
Here we are. Man, I had this game for like weeks and weeks, and I just only played a few missions. I feel so bad.
No.
I could have been grinding so much more.
No, that's fair. Oh,
Chris, I'm sorry.
What would I do?
No, I'm saying I'm sorry because I got another one of those skins.
You dirty bitch.
No. Wow. But fair.
Oh, not you. You're great. You're great.
You?
That bold?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other players are healed when you kill yourself.
Interesting. It's like your death makes us feel better.
Wait a second, pressing P3 times to kill yourself and then heal all the other players when you kill yourself. I see the combo here.
Pushing P.
Oh my god. God, my brain just goes to suicide healer. Oh my god, that don't sound right.
Yeah.
That was alright.
It makes perfect sense.
Makes perfect sense to me, much as anything else.
Oh,
catch y'all later.
It's a single.
Yeah, take it easy, bro. Good night.
Good night, bro.
Good night, bro.
I do feel bad the high ground was touched like that, but it was too powerful.
Man, I almost have this whole grid filled in. So close.
Oh man. That is really close. I'm seeing it on my screen on your stream.
Yeah.
I got like 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, like 7 more spaces.
Like a little J and one of those like little ones there would fit it.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, that's close. Yeah.
That's a swarm launcher. Oh, it's a skin I got. Ocean negative or ocean? Wait, what the heck? Oh, is it like inverted? That would make sense.
Shit, I messed up. Don't do it.
Oh no.
Yeah, I messed up.
Yeah, I messed up.
Yeah, I just fucked
To
up
anyone lurking,
all of that.
thank you for hanging around and supporting.
Hitting an ignited target with your melee generates grenade charges.
Yeah, I got that cluster upgrade for the incendiary. It's so good.
Man, I really don't see a way to... Like, as soon as I add this grid here, I'll be able to fit more, but, like, this exotic is, like, the worst shape I've ever seen.
Yeah. I feel like that's kind of the trade-off for the exotics. Like, they're really powerful, potent, but they just take up so much space on the grid.
Yeah. Not even good space, just, like, a horrible...
It's very inefficient.
Oh, what do you have? I didn't know you sold Saxon hot dogs wrist with granny faces on them.
What I do?
What?
Granny faced Saxon hot dog stand.
Aw.
Yoda.
Ah,
I am
hot dogs there are. Tasty.
So confused.
Well, you're standing right by the ammo cart. That looks like a hot dog stand.
It does.
Oh,
And it's got the Yoda face on it.
this really does.
Give
me a hot dog.
Hot dogs I have.
Ketchup? Mustard? Would you like with your hot dog?
Hey, Sue. Catch.
No. Ah!
This is apparently a vehicle. Now I know.
Oh, yeah, the little cart thing.
Yeah.
And bam.
Beep beep. Oh my god, this thing goes so much faster than the carts. Holy shit. Can we bring this along?
That screen really doesn't sound like Susan. It's kind of funny.
Oh,
Yay, it turned into bees.
Oh no.
Yay.
Dr. Bees.
Oh, there's the eyeball thing again.
Whoa.
Oh,
What was
that's
that?
That's the Bruiser exotic, right? Where it taunts all enemies to attack you. Yeah.
Oh.
That's the only exotic I'm missing from the Abomination. The only one.
God, I can't make everything I want fit on.
Beep, beep.
Beep,
beep.
That better have been a stale bag, asshole.
I'm trying to fit so much on this weapon. And it's like this exotic is like taking up space.
Oh yeah, no, the exotics are brutal.
Which one? Which exotic? There's like one exotic for a Bruiser. Probably at the end of one of the upgrade trees has a really fucked up shape.
Let's try
This is cool.
let's try one more of this prized possession mission. And see if the enemies spawn normally this time, and like if it was just because the cart was in.
The mission's probably refreshed by now.
Hey, look over there.
That's true, but like I just mean I wonder if that was.
Hard Light, yeah, it's Hard Light Prison.
Guys, look at this.
Oh, Hard Light Prison. Cool.
It literally encases the entire grid. It's a fucked up shape.
Yeah. Their shield projector is now a dome. Wait, how can it be a dome and a Hard Light Prison at the same time?
Right over here. Y'all seen Roachard anywhere?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So if you did Hard Light Prison and then put the unconditional protector, you would give them all an overshield for being in your Hard Light Prison?
Yeah. You give your teammates.
I don't like this.
Nosedive releases Bolt Lightning. Oh yeah, so it was something with the Nosedive Bolt Lightning. No, not leap travels forward. Nosedive charges refunding if you leap without diving. There was some weird way to do it where you can nosedive like 3 times in a row.
It describes his skin as pink neon. It's green.
What?
It describes it's factory shifted neon. Changes the clearance of the equipped item. Pink neon. I know it's shifted, but it says pink neon. And meanwhile, it's green.
It's green. Pink neon, but it's green. Fascinating.
I'm doing cartwheelies.
Get in here and stick them back together, please.
What happened?
A lot of people died there.
Need repair. Slot A into B.
Slot A into B.
What the fuck? That beach ball just killed someone. Oh my god!
I feel like there's some hazards in this workplace.
It's a bit. A little bit unsafety.
Oh, bees!
I'm just trying to get this radio inside. And I go flying away. Goodbye.
This thing now has like a charge up, but like
Bugs ate my sandwich.
It shoots like a bomb.
Huh? It's like the Bug Man.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wait, Saxonite Transport with his overclock or meteor shower. That sounds like a funny combo of effects.
Excellent, excellent.
He will teach you how to collect the rewards.
Oh yeah. What would happen if you took over the world?
Interesting perspective.
Bitch, you know that?
Hi.
Okay, I started the pod. Everybody ready?
The report's good on. Love that.
Here we go.
I think I would have a water slide in every
for
town.
dying 31 times. I'm alive. I'm not dead.
I guess I'm going with
Push me out of the pod.
There's a unit for saying hi to Roacher a certain amount of times.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know it's over 100 at least.
I thought I'd give you a thing for just saying hello to him once.
Oh, oh god, wow, the radio went everywhere.
Yeah, that's what happened to me. And then, look at him, look at him. Exactly. Oh, well, maybe that didn't happen. He's gone.
Where's my body?
It's an orb.
There is no body. There is no body.
It's an orbit.
That's not good.
Hold on, we can call them back, but that uses their revive, right?
Yeah, that'll be the last revive it spends. That's not good. I guess you're sitting this one out. Sorry.
How did you get up there?
Oh, it didn't spend it. It didn't spend it.
Did it fall? Yeah, they fell. Hang on.
No, I called in the revive, but it didn't
Oh, you
use
did?
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
What? Oh, there I am.
Maybe it checks if someone's out of bounds when it does it or something.
So
I don't know, but
so
that is so
way,
strange.
So the way the ship like appears in the map, it appears in the sky and just sits there in the air for a while, and then it like is on the ground suddenly.
Yeah, I've seen that with Bro.
So they were probably stuck up there like in that position.
In like the in-between with the dropping the pod and then coming down here.
Nowhere land.
Yeah.
I need to look back at the VOD because my perspective, meanwhile my perspective was really fucked up. I couldn't tell what was going on. I need to see what it looked like.
Man, I don't
It's really
like,
wild.
I don't like that my gun is staring at me.
What, with a little eyeball?
Yeah,
it's cute.
It's got the little eyeball.
I have
It's
the
cute.
eyeball
What are
too.
you talking
I like
about?
it.
Yeah, it's good.
Reminds me of the
It's cute.
Layak.
Oh yeah, I like the Layak, yeah. Layak. I don't like that either.
I don't know what's grown on me.
Got a Yuko bomb.
It's immune.
Is Yuko bomb there too.
The only true color is purple. Color is a lie.
Green is not a creative color.
Green is not a creative color.
No. Oh my god, Tweak, you're not a creative color.
No, that's because it's the Vestas color, so it can't be creative.
You don't like technically.
Flashlights are available if the overheads are out.
Blue green.
Man, I still haven't even made it to the facility yet.
Teal is a creative color. I like teal.
Did you all take cars? How did you get there that fast?
Teal is nice.
No, we just slid around and used our movement.
There was a rail to ride down there.
That is true. We also use that.
Don't kill enemies in here. I have a Yuko bomb.
Okay.
Yeah, I also have a Yuko bomb.
Nice.
Enemies in my group up. Group everyone.
Oh,
I'll see
I
if I
also
see
have a
any.
Yuko bomb.
Okay, I got.
Oh yeah, there's a couple over here.
Well, they're
Grab
coming
one
for me,
too.
so I'm gonna fall back.
Yuko's weird.
Yeah, it's a little strange.
Bees! Not the bee!
Like you can get a bunch of Bezium just by like opening a container, and it's like this. You gotta like work for it.
Yeah. Hey, how's it
It'd be
going?
like that sometimes. Are you able to get the
I'm
key
here.
while you're holding the Yuko bomb? Oh, cool. I didn't know. That was interesting.
Why is my gun not shoot? My gun's supposed to shoot a missile, and it's just exploding in my face every time.
Oh, someone dead outside.
Yeah, I got two. There I go.
Enemies over here.
Yay!
Bees! Okay, I'll start rolling. Oh lord, she rolling. Oh god, they yeeted me out. There's a bomb. Ah, my kidneys. My one weakness.
My kidneys.
No.
Oh my god, I was a lot in one little spot.
That was a lot of explosions right there.
That did not go very far.
No, it's being taken.
Thank you.
Bad. 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 Bad fungus.
Jeez.
Bad.
Oh, that's a nuke.
Yeah.
Whoa, roll.
No quarter for these fungus.
Whoa.
So if you let it go, it'll go faster.
Oh, does it? Usually.
Yeah, for some reason, only if one player carries it, it goes faster.
Oh, I was gonna
because of
say.
the physics.
Yeah,
Physics,
usually,
yeah. It's
usually
stupid,
like,
but it works.
Yeah, I remember it like sucking me across the map.
Was that Yuko Bomb? I think I found another one. Yeah, this is the Yuko Bomb here.
Let's try to get inside. This dome is moving fast.
It's trying. Oh, it's trying.
I can't keep up with this.
Good
It's
luck,
so
everybody
fast.
else. Yeah, the core goes like 1.5 million miles an hour.
Another Yuko Bomb here.
No, we had a fungus that we were trying to keep up with because it had that protective dome, but it was just outrunning us.
Oh, it was probably after the bomb then, because like doesn't try to match their speed or something.
Yuko Bomb up there.
Oh, I hate to say it, but I don't think any of us are making it out of here alive. Good luck, everybody.
Oh, thanks. Wee. Wee.
Power core secured. I'm booting up the drop pods. Get yourselves inside.
I'm going.
Oh, I'm trying.
I'm going.
We are so far away.
Oh my god, we are so far away. I remember when I did this a tweak too.
Oh yeah.
I think this exact thing happened.
Oh man.
He just had to abandon me.
I thought it
it's
was
okay.
so close too. Wow.
Like whoever grabs it, it just goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really far away from us.
The Wranglers will remember you all.
So much wasted Yuko Bomb. So much wasted.
Yuko bombs. Oh wait, someone died.
Yeah, there was like 2 of them.
There's like 2 of them. It's fine.
A war criminal again.
I was trying. I was trying to tell people. Nobody listened.
I might call it there because that was a good example of that.
Oh yeah, I'm glad that the more players works really well.
Yeah,
it does.
I was super worried at first that it wasn't gonna work, but I'm glad it did.
I was more worried it wasn't going to work well. It was going to be like very chunky, very slow frame rate.
With that peak experience, it was chunky.
Pretty well.
Yeah.
To be fair, the peak one was like barely updated with a new update, so I was like,
I'm hoping that was the reason. I really hope so, because I was like, oh no.
Oh.
Yeah.
The encoder does not like me opening a browser at the same time.
But this is very, very smooth. This worked. So good.
Opening up Twitch is too much for
we
the
were
game.
able to get so many challenges done.
Yeah,
That was great. Thanks all for joining.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you for letting us join you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, seriously, thank you.
Oh yeah, of course. I was like, I gotta let you all know about Mycopunk.
Well, I mean, like, I've known about Mycopunk. I was thinking about it, actually.
Well, no, like, I mean, like, you know that we're doing it. Like, I basically discovered it through, like, you all and Broa.
Yeah.
I need to drag
It's like
you
a
and
ton of
Tweak.
fun.
Yeah, I need to drag you and Tweak a couple times one of these days.
Yeah.
So, oh wait, is Volgotha streaming?
Oh.
Okay, but before I go, I have one message. Eagle has nuclear bombs.
The report's gonna
They need to add
I support
the,
this message.
What's it? The engineer, big boy or whatever it was.
The fat boy.
Fat boy, yeah.
The fat boy.
Oh yeah, Volgotha's doing Pokemon.
Oh, they're currently on a B rank bench.
Nan's doing Die in a Dungeon.
Yeah.
Jing's also doing Dark Tide.
Yeah.
All very excellent choices.
Yeah, there's a lot of people on.
It's Friday.
Okay.
It's packed.
Wait, no, sorry.
Packed
Dawn
of
of War,
streamers.
Let's send over to Nan because it looks like they're in like the middle of things, so they'd be able to do the raid thing.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. Man, I cannot believe that this supports 32 players, this mod. We need to get more folks in here and really push the boundaries.
Oh yeah.
See how much we can push it.
100%.
We need to get some mad mad mods into this as well. Like we need to get chaos.
Also, Dawn of War. So excited for that.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna do a stream about that too because I loved those games way back when. So the remaster.
I really want to play through the story again.
That's rad. I missed that series, but I hope you enjoy it.
I do have Dawn of War.
Like 2 and 3 were so.
I didn't get into it as much. It was just so different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So like the fact that they're remastering the first collection is really good.
Yeah, that is really good.
We need to continue our Total War playthrough.
That's true
at
too.
Some point. We need fucking.
But we'll send you over to Nan. Go enjoy. I don't know this game Die in Dungeon particularly, but it looks really cool. So go check it out.
It's awesome.
I haven't played it, but it's like the name is a pun. You'll see.
Yeah.
It's
but anyway,
great.
have a
It's
good
fucking
weekend,
great.
everybody. We'll see you next week. I
Happy
got a couple
weekend.
new games again next week, I think. So
It's gonna be quieter, a little more of a chill week to introducing new stuff.
yeah. Well, see you later, everybody. Don't get nuked by bugs.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
No promises.